So, who would like to recap?
I was the first one on tonight.
Yeah,
so
let me find my notebook. Okay. Okay. Oh, nope, it's not this notebook.
Correct.
Right, I have to find
notebook like
That's
character?
the notebook of the game I haven't played in 5 weeks. Where's the other notebook?
Fucking same. I've been waiting for so long, dude.
Okay. Nope, it's not that notebook either.
Yeah. I know this.
Where is this fucking whore of a notebook?
I have like 2 million
Wish I had my
notebooks.
life together now, to the point that I had multiple notebooks.
Yo,
I'm kind of
Sean,
regretting it right now, honestly, because I can't find it.
I
Quote
I'll
me
start
on this
with
shit.
one,
if
but
we don't play on Tuesday, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
Oh, dude, as soon as you start setting ultimatums, you know it's just not gonna happen.
Wait, I set an ultimatum?
Yeah, because you're gonna lose your shit if we don't
Oh.
play. Therefore,
I thought you meant earlier today in the grouping or something. I was like, wait, nah, I thought I was being an idiot.
no.
Like, hold
No,
on.
no.
I gotta reread that.
Oh, here it is. Ah, it was hiding. Okay, cool, I got it. So, last session, our group of adventurers found themselves back at the inn where they woke up on the day before the spring festival. We were given, and the inn was filled, like it was just way too many people in there. It was really loud. There was some rude boys, where one of them bumped into Skulker, and Skulker immediately like shoved him off of his feet and into someone else, and almost caused a fight. And that didn't end up happening, thankfully. Where we then talked to Humboldt, or it was either Humboldt or his son Gendry, and asked, "What's going on? It's the spring festival tomorrow. Everyone's trying to get a room, but we'll give you a room if you help us prepare." So all of us decided to help for at least half a day. Scatha worked for the entirety of the day, ended up getting a little bit of extra wages because of that. The rest of the group went and took care of some business in the morning, such as exchanging Knoll tongues, going and checking up on Brother Menlo, or going out and finding an armor smith, or I think it was the blacksmith. The Brother Menlo we checked up on and told him, or actually we went to the apothecary, not the apothecary, the Magistrate, thank you. Went to the magistrate, exchanged the tongues, met the young boy there that was very sad that he wasn't going to be able to go to the festival, and Kiri made a note to herself to visit him later. And then we went and saw Brother Menlo, let him know what I pictured like a 17-year-old.
Rip. I should have described him a little better.
Then we went and talked to Brother Menlo, let him know what our decision was, which was to not keep ourselves hidden, and to let people know that we were the ones, that our group as a total were the ones who helped the apothecary out of their sticky situation of gnolls in the basement. And then we worked for the rest of the day. Darrow did some cooking. Scatha continued to move things around. I think Skulker... I don't know what Skulker did. I think Kiri kind of just helped get the place ready. And this was the first day that Flint was nowhere to be seen. He just kind of poof. Then we went to sleep. The next day was the festival. There were 4 competitions. There was a drinking competition, an archery competition, a strength competition, and gambling, not in that order. There was the strength competition. Scatha took first place after some very not near losses. It was pretty much a domination. And in the archery competition, Scatha and Kiri both placed, but I think Kiri ended up taking the gold medal.
For which one?
For the archery.
For sharpshooting, yeah.
Yes, for sharpshooting. Sharpshooting. It was mostly bows, and then there was Scatha with his lances, or javelins.
Dude, with his javelins, just like absolutely annihilating this poor target.
There was a target that was set up that Kiri just bang, 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 bullseyes, and Scatha would chuck it, and the target would go fly. It's like, put it back up! And then they would set it up again, and then he would annihilate it, like, put it back up!
I think it was just some pieces.
And the drinking competition, I don't think anyone participated in, or did Skulker participate? Nope, I think Skulker decided to steal some of the booze off the tables while they were being passed around. And gambling, Darrow participated. One wasn't sure exactly what was going on, got confused and scared, and cashed out. And then gave the money that he was loaned back to Scatha. And I don't remember if there was a closing ceremony we went through, but that might have just been it.
The last thing was Kiri gave the guy.
Right, Kiri went back and saw her friend, who
Birder.
was sad he wasn't going to be able to go to the festival.
Birder. Birder.
Like from the Kingdom Force.
Burger.
B-U-R-T.
He also presented you with like a small like pendant type
Yes.
thing.
And ask, yes.
Cross swords.
With a black background.
PVA card.
And I think that just about does it.
Why is my Chrome doing this? Okay.
Because you don't have enough RAM to offer.
4 gigs, man. This ain't cool. Alright.
Did you skip over Scatha's performance after the arm wrestling, or did I just zone out?
Oh,
That was not
no.
included in the recap.
I forgot about that. Scatha sang a traditional dragon folk song and got the whole crowd into a frenzy of appreciation and further idolized him. He's like, oh my god, he's amazing at sharpshooting and strength, and he can sing. Oh, just kill me now. So Scatha is like MVP hero in town. Like, oh my god, everyone wants to be friends with him.
Yeah, Scatha's the people's champ right now. Put out a hell of a showing yesterday. So, the day has been long and fun. Spent some money, won some money, lost a little bit of money.
Got
Came
a
out
lot
net
of money.
positive though, overall. The end of a long day. You've all like been eating and drinking like small free samples or like small like pastries, wines, meats, like meads, little bits of ale here and there. Lots of good food. People in like very high spirits, and the afternoon kind of gives way into dusk as you see like everyone begins like congregating on the eastern edge of Greenwich. Like you just see like all the people are like walking that way, and like you hear mention of like, oh, the closing ceremony is about to start.
I say let's head over. Let's go check it out.
Perfect. Let us do that.
Okay, so you're all on the east side of town, so you're standing with like the sun at your back, and there's like a soft like shadow kind of like spreading out over everything, like the long like cold nights of winter are just starting to fade away, and you get like the first night where you can be like outside in a t-shirt comfortably, and it's just like fucking yes, like one of those type of nights. And as the sun sets, you see a man, like, sort of, he's clad in gold armor. I'll have a picture for him in just a sec. He has a sword at his waist, and you see, like, a hush fall over the crowd as this man ascends onto, like, a small, like, humble but well-made wooden podium. Image, address. This is him. And you hear hushed murmurs of, like, Prince Roy. Prince Roy. I'll type that out also. Murmurs among the crowd.
I didn't see an image pop up in the Roll20.
Me either.
Oh. We'll do it the old-fashioned way then. Oh, docs, I put it in the wrong. Okay.
From how often you do missteps in Roll20, I am not excited at learning how to use it to run a game myself.
Oh no, there's one huge difference between you using Roll20 and me using Roll20. You won't smoke pot while using it.
That's fair. I don't think I'm allowed to do that.
So don't mind me, just passing through.
Yep, I also don't own a volcano that just lives next to me.
I mean,
I'm saying that's definitely a negative part of my life.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like that would be a very high insurance charge on wherever you may live if you had a volcano right next door.
No. Disconnect here. Volcano, not the geological formation.
Okay.
Smoking apparatus.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Alright. So you see this man, like, and he removes his helm, and you see he kind of, like, shields his eyes from the sun a little bit, and he begins talking, and just saying, like, generally, like, vague things like, spring. The flowers of late winter and early spring occupy places in our hearts well out of proportion to their size, and just begins going on like a kind of long-winded but heartfelt rant about the beauty of spring. And as you're sitting there listening to him for a couple moments, you kind of...
Can I tell if he's an idiot or drunk?
Roll me insight.
Thank you. I wanted to say I insight check him, but I was like, no, I should.
Give him advantage because he's around Skulker the drunk. Enough to know.
Not all drunks are the same. He seems pretty composed. He might have had like a drink or two, but he doesn't really seem like any kind of intoxicated. Sean, you get the sense that he's speaking from like a place of passion and not just wordiness.
Okay, so he's trying to communicate his feelings with words, and it's just not coming out right.
Yeah.
Cool.
He means well, though, and the people seem to respect him, like, no one's really talking or anything. And it's at this point that... I'm just going to type out your names and... Kiri. You get a tap on your shoulder, and you turn around, and there's a man dressed in, like, fine, like, red robes. Not too extravagant or anything, but they are nicely made, and he's got a set of 4 guards with him, and the rest of you now, like, turn around and see these people also. They have symbols on them. It's just like a lion facing left, like rearing on its hind legs with its claws. And it's the symbol of the, like, Ascalon military. Red background, gold lion.
Would I know this?
Is it the same symbol as the one that she was given by,
Forgive me.
what's his face?
it's more of like, you know how like the Army has a logo and like the Navy has a logo, and like,
Yeah.
it's more like this is not like the town guard, or like it's officially like Kingdom of Ascalon, like military, and
Right.
not
It's
just
a
like,
nation military, not a local militia.
yeah.
And the symbol that she was given was the local militia?
It would still like imply to someone in the military that like someone saw fit to give this person this symbol, even if it's from
Right.
like a, yeah.
But
So,
if it's not the same symbol, then Kiri does not know any idea what these people are, probably.
yes.
I mean, if they look official and shit, I probably wouldn't know, but I would still, like, bow respectfully and, like, probably step out of the way. Because I imagine they want to pass through.
The man like steps back after having gained your detection and gives like a small bow and says, "Excuse me," and he addresses each of you in turn. Darrow, Kiri, Scatha, Skulker. Might I have a moment of your time, please? I have a few questions for you.
We should probably follow them. Yeah, I don't see an issue with that. Skulker, do you have an issue with this? Or Scatha, Kiri, I'll tell you who these people are on the way.
Oh,
Skulker leers when you ask him in sort of a "don't say my name, I don't want them to recognize me if they know of me" sort of way.
They addressed
you by name.
Skulker sees this contradiction and rescinds his earlier thought.
Looks at you, Skulker. I said, okay, Skulker, and you're like, why are you looking at me like that, man?
If, you know, Kiri trusts Darrow, so if Darrow says we should go, then we should go. I agree.
Cool.
All right, no objections.
So, oh wow, I went through all that for nothing. I
Yeah,
got the firework ambiance and everything, and I forgot to switch the song. The other shit's just too like too easy to just fade into, you know. So you'll have to forgive me for interrupting, but I'm afraid this is somewhat urgent. My name is Inquisitor Davos. Typed it in chat in case anyone's curious the spelling.
Is the caps lock all proper?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have heard of your recent foray into the Underdark, and I believe it is of interest to... how to put this? There has been suspicion lately that a group called the Syndicate, and that is the name for your out-of-character selves, that is the name that Darrow's organization goes by. Skulker, you would have heard of them, just because, like, mercenary life, you just know that they're shady people involved in a lot of horrible shit. And, like, the rest of you have heard, like, vague mention of, like, you just know that they're bad people.
I probably would have no idea.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And in character, I have never made any mention of being part of such organization.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Kiri would just cock her head like a bird would. Like, okay.
Forgive me, yes. Reputation of the Syndicate might not have spread to the Shiver Peaks. They are...
I may speak for some of them. Some of us are not from here. I was born and raised within the boundaries of the kingdom, but the rest of us have traveled quite a ways to get to this here town.
Hmm. Oh. The Syndicate is an underground organization engaged in all sorts of nefarious activity. They operate outside the law, almost completely and wholly. They cling to the shadows, and when they leave them, nothing good comes of it. Involved in all sorts of things: robbery, murder, assassination, human trafficking, slave trade. Like, if it's bad and there's money to be made in it, the Syndicate probably has a stake and at least something to do with that trade. There have been suspicions recently that members of the Syndicate have infiltrated different branches of the Ascalon military, and we believe they're using the Underdark in order to meet. We're unsure of exactly who, but we've narrowed it down to either goblins or orcs. And neither of these bode well for us. I've heard tell of your recent, I don't want to call it vacation, because I'm sure it was anything but word of your accomplishments.
A word you might want to use is foray into the Underdark.
Your foray into the Underdark.
Sorry to put words
quite
into
a bit
your
of
mouth.
attack. Oh, that's quite alright. No one man knows all the words that he needs. Word of your deeds has spread. You've become the talk of the town and talk of the surrounding countryside also. I came here the second I heard. I was in Croydon to the north, and I heard tell this morning of your accomplishments. Watching who? Are you seriously asking him, or is that just like a joke? He seems pretty. Like, you could definitely ask him. I would, in character. He kind of like smiles to himself, and you see him look over his shoulder, like at the guards, and you see one of them kind of like break a grin a little bit, and he says, "Forgive me. I must not have made myself clear. I am with the Royal Family's Intelligence Agency. We have small offices and hideouts, if you will. We try to keep our locations secret, but it does not always work that way. We have a few offices that are public, but those are for show. You won't find very much valuable information inside of those places. Now I'm kind of wondering. I've kind of ad-libbed a little too much. I'm wondering why this guy would tell you this shit. Anyway,
as he's now a person who speaks a little bit too much and then realizes it later and says, "Fuck."
Or he plays it off as like trying to be trustworthy, so he tells you a little bit more, knowing that you would realize that he's telling you a little bit more than you need to know.
Yes, exactly. Let us interpret why you fucked up.
Yeah, you're right.
NPCs with flaws so much deeper.
I'm an NPC with a flaw in real life. Multiple flaws. Alright, anyway. No. My cat. Alright. So, did you happen to see any members or any evidence of anyone from the surface, particularly anyone from Ascalon military, having been in the catacombs and the Underdark underneath them?
Guys, who do we want to incriminate?
I believe the only thing we saw was from some like magic school or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, when we were in there, the only thing we saw that was of foul play was the demons attempting to invade our world further. We only found foul play from demons. There was there was nasty natural creatures, and there was nasty demonic creatures such as gnolls, and there was an arch gnoll, and they came through a tear in the space-time of our reality, which appeared to be unnatural, but honestly, we can't really say who created that tear.
Please, hold on. Darrow, it's Darrow, right? Darrow, tell me more about this space-time. At the moment, we've narrowed it down to 2 different sources. The highest concentration of suspicion lies with the Mage Corps and the Cavaliers at the moment, and the rest of the cavalry. If our investigation has told us anything thus far, it is that any conspirators fall within one of those 2.
You are suspecting there is a traitor amongst our own ranks.
Precisely.
Well, unless there's someone in your cavalry that knows how to rip open a portal to the another dimension, of which I don't remember because I haven't really been well trained in it, but it's another dimension that looked really fucking scary, then I would think someone who's magical.
Pretty sure it was the Abyss.
Thank you, Kiri.
You're welcome.
I don't have the best memory, that's why I keep friends around.
Portals to the Abyss, you say? Well, I'll have to get word of this out at once.
One thing I must mention is that we found this portal within a pocket of wild magic. Unlikely, but possibly could have been created by said wild magic. But it also appeared to be not natural, this hair. I will kind of make motion to a couple of the godly what the fuck are the things called?
What things?
It's a symbol. The symbol, this god symbols that I wear around my neck and say,
Emblem?
Emblem, yes. Emblems towards the gods. I'll make a motion towards a couple of them because I wear like one from every single known deity, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Saying, I don't know a lot of these things myself, but I pray and roll my eyes and do the praying motion thing and commune. I roll my eyes the other way and gain information by talking to them. And this is whispers that I heard.
Well, wild magic would make it easier to and he's kind of like muttering to himself now, like thinking, would make it easier to rip open a portal to a different plane. It's like gas for a fire, if you will. Like natural gas, like air gas, not gasoline gas. It's also possible that the wild magic zone could stem from the appearance of the portal itself. It's unsure at this moment in time which...
Well, now that you mention it, once we closed it, when we were walking away, we didn't feel the same tension in the air as when we were going to it. So that's could just be a fact that's totally...
No, that's valuable information. The wild magic was most likely, in that case, caused by the portal itself.
Say, Inquisitor Davos,
Yes.
how much do you know about the orcs?
Not much, I'm afraid. The Ebon Vanguard makes regular reports, but they merely hold a defensive position at the Eye of the North. They don't actually conquest out into orc territory, so our knowledge about their activity is very minimal. We know that they have been mobilizing lately, but beyond that, we are unsure why.
Have you found any evidence of goblins and orcs working together, or those are just the two bodies that you least trust and think that they might be causing trouble?
Goblins are, how should I put this, the lowest caste of orc society. They fill a niche that the orcs don't occupy as tinkerers and alchemists and things of that sort, but their sheer lack of size just causes them to be subjugated by the orcs. They're also kept as slaves. We intercepted a message that implied there would be a deal of some kind between the Syndicate and a member of someone up north for a trade in orcish sulfur bombs.
Did the name... No, I can't rely on that being true. There was a name that was whispered to me in a dream, but dreams are as unreliable as the words of a goblin.
You did not see any evidence of explosives or anything down there, I take it?
Not that I can recall. Guys, you remember anything?
No.
Out of character, I mean, we kind of brought an explosive, but we used it all up.
Did we? Oh, your liquor. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
but
no,
we
that
found
wasn't-
no evidence of like explosives
yeah, no.
being there at any point before we blew up your liquor.
Very well then.
Moment of silence for the liquor.
What were those things you said? They're mustard?
Orcish sulfur bombs? They're quite nasty. An intensely hot explosion followed by noxious gas that permeates the surrounding area. You'll see not so much someone who's been in close proximity to an explosion from one of these bombs almost looks like they have chemical burns. Not like their face has been like exploded off, like they got like searing hot, like just sulfur concoction on their face.
Right, like they were hit in the face with a boiling pot of water.
Yeah, precisely. Excruciatingly painful. Permanently disfiguring. The gas is lethal. It's one of the more lethal orcish weapons. The minerals and such in their homeland gives them the resources to make these. We could not recreate them if we wanted to. We would have to import sulfur from
Certainly
overseas.
sounds like a cruel weapon of war.
Yes, aren't they all? Well, forgive me. I've taken enough of your time.
Well, as you have heard of our deeds, we are currently unemployed. The only thing that we have been told by the magistrate and the greater government is that there's a bounty for Knoll tongues. Honestly, unless anyone else had anything else, any other tabs, that's what we're going to go back to doing. But if there might be a reward for looking further into a certain situation, we might be interested in helping out. What way would you like us to be able to contact you, or would you reach out to us in such a situation?
He strokes his chin like very interesting, like he's in like deep thought as he pulls a small scroll with a wax seal like out from inside of his sleeve, and he says, "Had this, in case you prove to be useful, for lack of being polite, or for a not polite way to say it. The information you gave about the portal is truly valuable. We haven't heard anything about this, and we will concentrate our efforts on finding out more."
I will, like a, I don't know, like a bling covered pimp will say, and we also, amongst our troop, have the champion of the strength competition of the Spring Festival, motioning to Skatha, and the champion archer, motioning to Kiri. So, we kind of are a big deal right now.
He chuckles to himself and he just says, like, yes, upon arriving, I've heard that the people I sought had gained more clout in the time since I had originally left to meet them. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't impressed.
If you are offering us this gift, I think that we should gladly accept it. What was this again?
He hands it out to you and he says, this is a writ of favor from the Ascalon royal family.
Oh, Jesus.
As far as the work goes, I don't have anything at the moment, but I will definitely seek you out if something makes itself available. I have a feeling we'll need a group of your talents in the future, especially one that has experienced these rifts, as you call them.
Sorry, writing.
Now, this is not a get-out-of-jail-free card, but it's pretty close. It's about as close as you can get. Anything that, I don't know, I'll leave the rest
like
up to your imagination.
You're an NYPD donor. You're an NYPD donor. And if you pulled over,
it's more significant than that. It's like saying, like, I'm a judge, or like I'm a police, not like a police chief, but like, not that is what this makes you, but in terms of real life terms, it would be like saying something like that in regards to,
like, the police chief sends me a Christmas card every year.
Yeah, it's a bigger deal than just like I donate money or like my cousin's a cop. It's like I'm someone who is very important, not just like a random who happened to earn the goodwill of someone in law enforcement.
Right. Yeah, I have friends in high places card.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I'm slowly lowering my hand to take it, and Skatha just reaches over me and grabs it. Scott, thank you very much, Inquisitor Devos. I'm sure we'll be in touch. Skatha, come back. That's important, Skatha. And I go off after him.
Take care. Have a great night, and please enjoy the rest of the festival. And without another word, he like lets you go on your way.
And Kiri would basically just like bow her head respectively and go after Skatha and Darrow.
And it's at this point that we get our view of like the party, like sort of like chasing after Skatha as he just like dips out, and we see like a black hooded figure like sort of peek out from around like a corner further up ahead, and kind of within earshot of where you guys have been standing, but standing around the corner so as not to be seen. And he sort of just like watches you guys go away and fades back into the night. That's more for your out-of-character selves, though, than your, character.
Right. The characters walk out of frame, and the camera zooms back out, and then, like, oh, someone was listening, and they disappear in the shadows.
Alright. So, we made it back to the inn. Warm light spills out onto the dark street. Prince Rorik has wrapped up his speech, and you see people are starting to return to the town. Fireworks begin. Fireworks are a thing almost exclusive to Ascalon, only because it hasn't really just been like thought of anywhere else. Like, gnomes and dwarves and like elves and humans don't really live in like such close, not even proximity. Like, they don't have a unified society anywhere else. And it's like the dwarven gunpowder with like the whimsy of the gnome and like elven magic and like human engineering, and they all kind of come together. And like, you know, not that gnomes don't have more than whimsy, but you know, do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yes, they have. This is the only place that they share a community.
Yeah, precisely. So you see like fireworks being set off in the distance off to the east, and people start wandering back into town. You find yourselves at the Running River Inn. The tavern has like comers and goers, but it's not like packed. Like, people are mostly like in and out because everyone's just like popping into everywhere. So it's busy, but no one's staying. So if you want a seat at the bar, it'd be pretty easy to find one.
So is this
Or a
like
table.
the festival is over, kind of? No one's there staying there anymore, or everyone's still like out enjoying whatever?
No, everyone's still out. There's still vendors offering like samples and selling their wares and such.
Gotcha.
The contests have all ended, but people are still partying. Humboldt sees you all walk in and he calls out to you guys and says, welcome back. Good to see you. I've heard you had quite the day. And he looks up at you, Scatha, and he says, I've heard people talking about you since like 1 PM. Or like since just past noon, I guess would be the best way to say it. What'd you do out there?
Humbly smiles. You've been very humble this
You
entire festival.
shit-eating grin.
Well, sure. Yeah, I'd imagine. And Kiri, I heard you won the marksmanship contest.
And she kind of like
Congratulations.
proudly does like the bird chest buff thing, and you're just like, I did. It's 60 points.
Excellent. Well, people know that champions get their food and drink and rest at the Running River. That'll be quite interesting. I think it might have a positive impact on business. And he just hands each of you like a glass of the last thing you ordered from the bar. So I think for Skulker, it was the Elven Fire water. For Kiri, it was water. And for Darrow and Scoff, I think you guys both had mead, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So he hands each of you a cup, and he says, please enjoy. And he like goes to serve another patron.
Thank you very much.
Kiri becomes interested and like tries to go over like Darrow's shoulder or arm or whatever, and kind of just like smells his drink to see like whether it smells sweeter or like what it is.
I'll tip it towards her nose.
Doesn't smell as bad as the Elven Fire water, but it does have like definitely that sting to it still. Oof.
So it's not like a honey mead where it's just like a really sweet.
This is no longer a drink in public drink.
What do you mean?
He rolled Constitution and rolled that one.
I'm guessing that's translation of he takes it and downs it. Let's see what happens. Oh, natural 1.
Okay, hold on.
Roll me initiative.
What?
Just you. No, I promise. Alright, so you see Skulker like downs and like slams the glass down, and like you see like he becomes like placid for a second, and then immediately puts his hands over his mouth, and you see he just runs outside and manages to hold it, but the second he crosses the threshold, he just like pukes like directly into the street. Like,
I guess he stole more mugs of meat than I expected. Must have drank a lot.
after a solid three minutes of just like retching and kind of like clearing it out, he comes back down. And Skulker, you've got like puke in your beard, and you're kind of standing like you're not wasted, but for some reason your stomach just didn't agree with that one. You've been drunker than this. You're standing in the cool night air. You got some people looking at you. Mother like shielding her child's eyes and like ushering them away.
You have one of two things you can do right now. You can flip them off, or you can smile and wave.
I choose neither. I quickly duck back inside. I don't care for being center of attention. Sorry, Skulker doesn't care for being center of attention.
Alright, so you see Skulker walk back inside with like puke clinging to his beard, and he sits back down at the bar.
Buddy, you might want to...
I take a napkin and like
that.
kind of just go towards his face with it.
It's like the fantasy equivalent of napkins, where they have like towels, like hand towels. or,
I
like,
imagine they would have cloths.
Imagine a bar cloth.
Yeah.
Honestly, just
the dirty glass rag. Just like-
yeah, no. I would imagine, or just use part of my dirty cloak. Honestly, I'd probably just like hold back, like don't waste that, and just like take the bottom of my dirty ass cloak and be like, this is a better use.
Well, I can promise Kiri that mead is a lot better than that.
She kind of has like a sour face on her face. You're just like, maybe not tonight. Because just like looking at Skulker, you're just like, doesn't look very pleasant.
Well, maybe we'll get you to drink yet. I'll take a swig. And I guess, does anyone else have anything else they want to do for this tonight, or is it just kind of relax and go to bed?
I haven't seen Anzu all day, so I'm just like rearing to go see him.
So, our heroes head upstairs to their rooms on the 3rd floor, which is the more exclusive of the floors. And you all like say goodnight to each other. Kiri, you put your hand on the doorknob and it feels kind of cold. Colder than it should be.
As soon as I touch it and it feels cold, I'm just like, I swear, Anzu, if you did anything to mess this room up, I will. And then just kind of like swing the door open.
So, he was about the size of a cat last, when you like first made it out of the Underdark. He was still like pretty small. And like, you notice he hasn't been sleeping too well, but like he still like just sleeps for a long time at night, so like, who knows, you know? But he's about the size of like a fat raccoon now. Like, he has gotten distinctly bigger than he was when you left this morning. You see, like, you swing your door open, and you, like, close it behind you, and as you're closing it behind you, you see, like, there's, like, frost on the wall that you can tell has melted into, like, a small puddle on the floor, almost as if it's been sitting there for about, like, 45 minutes or so. Like, most of the frost is gone, and it's kind of just turned into moisture that drained to the floor. And he looks up at you and kind of like sticks, like, you know, he gets like happy face, like his eyes get wide, he opens his mouth, his tongue is hanging out, kind of like a dog, and he sort of just like runs up to you and begins like clamoring towards you.
I would like drop to my knees and kind of give him a hug and be like, those pancakes must be really good for you. We've grown quite a bit.
It all started after he drank the holy water.
Yeah, but I would have no idea like to put that together.
That's true. Alright, but other than that, he's like if you give him a command like, yo, chill out, he'll like obey it. He's not like overly rowdy or anything, but he is like excited to see you.
I would ask him if he broke anything while I was gone.
He kind of like tucks his ears back a little bit, and then like they like lift up again, and yeah.
Do dragons have ears?
Kind of like you can see like they have like ear holes or like ears on the sides of their head, and you can see like the muscles underneath like his skin on his head, kind of like if a dog were to tilt his ears back, he kind of does that same thing of like the oh shit, like head muscle.
Okay, dragons do have like head side flaps.
Mhm.
I mean, Toothless had ears, right?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Who's Toothless?
How to Train Your Dragon.
Now.
Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon.
But it wasn't like ears, but like
over his head.
I don't know if necessarily they were ears, but they were like kind of like fleshy horn thingies that like responded like ears.
Yep.
But that's
I remember in the movie they had they made them pivot like they were ears,
Yeah.
looking for sounds. So yeah, must have it just been. I digress.
Alright. And morning fades into day without incident. You all wake up
I
feeling well rested and
I'm
beautiful.
not going to go to bed.
Ooh.
I'm going to
Oh,
stay up
sure.
until it gets quieter, and then I'm going to head out into the night. And I'm going to walk around in the dark parts of the streets, seeing kind of what the aftermath of the festival looks like, and see if I can find a spot where I might be able to find a couple of the fellows I'm looking for.
Who are you looking for?
Some of the people who've been trailing us.
I imagine everything looks like the garbage, like it always looks like after festivals.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to spend long, just like, like an hour.
Chasing ghosts and shadows.
Yeah, basically chasing ghosts and shadows, and if none of them make themselves apparent, then I'm just going to go back to bed.
Tieflings have dark vision, correct?
Yes, they do. 60 foot.
Okay. Let me roll a couple things real quick.
Go for it.
Everybody make note of the fact that all the rolls have been low today.
Alright, I need one more roll. Call it high or low.
High.
Alright, not bad. Okay. So, it's now after midnight. The festival kind of trailed on. Like, it wasn't truly, like, quieter until around 12, and then people started heading home. Like, once midnight hit, you see, like, the vendors are, like, out of food. Like, people are pretty fucked up. They're looking to pass out. So you see a couple stragglers here and there. Garbage strewn about. Lots of, like, the streets are very, like worn and, like, muddy. Like, tons of people have been walking through them.
Yep.
Roll me a perception check. Yeah, so you definitely... So you turn a corner, and you kind of know how things operate, more or less. And you turn a corner, and you wait about, like, 4 or 5 seconds, just standing right on the other side of the corner, and a hooded figure, like, comes around, like, swiftly and almost walks into you.
Yep, I walked around the corner, and rather than facing the direction I was, I just pivoted and sat there with the foot against the wall, just, like, picking my teeth. And then it shows up like, hey.
And you see, like, the figure's, like, very startled, but they make no noise. And they kind of just, like, remove their hood. And you recognize this person. His name is Ren. He is a half-elf with black hair. And he has a weird, like, mole on the right side of his face. Probably about the size of a nickel, so it's rather large. And you and him, like, know each other, but have never really had to interact. So he kind of just approaches you and just says, like, hey, like, so, any reason you haven't checked in lately?
Yeah, been kind of busy. Just making some coin on the side, spreading my name around so that I can get a bit more, visibility. Figure if I make myself more valuable to those in the light, I might be able to have more influence over those in the dark,
Are you deceiving him, out of curiosity?
Oh, that's totally not my intention.
I was gonna say, I didn't want to be presumptuous. Roll me deception, please. Yeah, and he just like, I mean, yeah, I heard you talking with the Inquisitor, and you didn't really say too much, so it was good.
Mm-hmm.
However,
Yeah.
I did notice, someone in your group. I don't know if we ever confirmed who's holding the bag of holding, but someone in your group had a bag with the Mage Guild symbol on it, and I was tasked with telling you ever since you were in Yak's Bend, and you didn't have that on you when you went down there. So I gotta ask, did you not tell the Inquisitor on purpose? Or are you planning to use the bombs for yourself? What's the deal?
Forget about it.
Wait. Okay, so, side note, before I address question, when we picked up the bag of holding, you said there was rations, 2 torches, and I put 3 Ankeg plates in it. You said nothing about there being bombs in the bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
So, there was, in fact, no bombs in the bag of holding, but Ren is saying that there's bombs in the bag of holding.
Yeah, no, I'm aware of that.
Okay, I wanted to make sure that I didn't not write something down.
Mm-hmm.
Which I, in fact, am the one that have the bag of holding in my inventory. I'm going to roll a d4, and even if it's in my room, odds I'm trying to awkwardly hide it from him. Or odds it's on my person, whether he notices it or not. Okay, it's back in my room. But I'm the one that has it. If that changes the things that he said.
He would have just said you instead of someone from your party.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I kind of forgot that I had that. We kind of found it on a dead dude, and it didn't have anything useful in it. Like, it just had some torches and some rations.
There weren't any bombs?
Nah.
He kind of like curses under his breath. He's like, fuck. Fucking mage pussies, dude. You can't trust them to do anything.
As fuck.
What killed him?
Probably Onkegs, giant, fucking terrifying, and I put my arms over my head, like, at him, like, terrifying, grabby bug things.
Well,
and it kind of looked like he was nothing but bones, so he could have been burned to death by acid.
Well, you should check in more often. You might have known the deal was going down in the first place.
Yeah,
not to learn about
it. They never involved me in higher up shit. You know that. I was just muscle.
The big guy has taken an interest in you. He's heard that you've gone rogue, but he's also heard of your capabilities. He would like you to conduct the next trade in the Underdark.
What trade?
Well, it's simple, really. You bring them slaves, and they give us bombs. I'm guessing you didn't find any evidence of the slaves, did you? You said it was only one guy?
Nope. Found one dude who was dead as fuck with a bag that had no bombs.
Claimed that he would roast any threat with incendiary flames from his hands, and said there was no need to worry. He sang his own praises, and he failed completely and totally.
Well, those
And then he kind of
on-kegs
just, like, shakes his head.
were a bit fire resistant. They were kind of covered in plate mail.
I don't know. Shouldn't have gotten a loan.
Yeah,
Well, it's okay. We have other moles in other places.
Well, speaking of the trades and the higher-ups, this Inquisitor made note of some pretty big dealings that might be happening as far as cooperation with a certain orc on a certain boundary with certain huge ramifications. Is that the same dealings that we've been talking about here?
Let's see. They only know what we let them know. And he kind of smiles. You should know this. And
anything they
like,
find out is something that we let slip a purpose as a misdirection. I know, it's like Rule 4.
Precisely. They only know the Underdark. They do not know where. They do not know that we are actually providing the orcs with anything. As far as they're concerned, we are merely smuggling bombs that the orcs give us for free, as if they would ever do such a fucking thing.
Well, the running into you was a stroke of my own hand here. Were they waiting for me to reach out to them, or were they going to reach out to me to let me know of this? You're saying I should check in more. Is that why I haven't heard of anything yet?
Precisely. Also, I wouldn't be too lenient with that in the future. If you didn't check in or rendezvous with someone in 3 days, they were looking to put the hit out on you. They were already uncertain of where your allegiances lay. I would be sure to tell them that you still see things our way.
You know, I'm not the most perceptive one, and sometimes I forget things. Just so happened that I picked up on either your or someone's tail.
Well, I'm here alone, and I haven't seen anyone else following you.
Rule 4, you only let them know what you want them to know. You probably let me see you.
He just smiles, like, very broadly, as if to confirm your suspicions. He says, like, be careful out there, Darrow. Scary world.
Yep, fucking terrifying. I'll turn and keep walking down the alley that I should have been walking down when I scared him.
So what's your answer? He calls back after you. You taking the job?
I'll confirm with my party that they're okay going down. I don't think there'll be an issue. They want to kill things as much as I do.
Party's a bunch of do-gooders. You should be careful around them. And he kind of, just like the last thing he says to you is he kind of just turns and walks away.
Cool. Yeah, I'll go back to the inn. Go to sleep.
Alright. Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Exhaustion, here we come.
Alright. So you get a little light on sleep, but, you know, managed to wake up okay. A little groggy, but no exhaustion 1. It is morning. Everyone rises in their beds. Scoth is up about an hour earlier than everyone else. Scotho, what would you like to do in this time where you're up before everyone? Are you just like doing push-ups in the room? You down in the tavern?
Just quietly playing my lute in my room, probably.
Alright, cool. So Scotho softly strums his lute as like the day begins to fully come into fruition from like goes from like a sunrise to now it is daytime out. The other party members begin stirring in their rooms.
Wait,
What?
I fucking forgot to ask him what I was supposed to do. Damn it. I'm on the hook to do something. I don't even know what it is.
God damn it, Connor.
I need to
Playing it
tell.
like Merkler.
I need to tell one quick story. Josh, in our other game, is playing a warlock and was given. We were under siege by an army of undead in a fortress, and Josh was handed this artifact that could supposedly like win the day for us. And like the conversation finished, and then Josh goes like, "Wait." He goes, "I never asked him how to use it." And it's just a brittle, like, gray rock. Like, and we just had no idea how to
Told
use
me
it.
they're exchanging slaves for bombs. I don't know if I'm supposed to be bringing the bombs or the slaves. I don't know if I'm supposed to be bringing slaves, where I get them.
I know what you're
slave
doing.
Bombs. I don't know where to bring them.
BYOS.
So yeah, it is morning. Pancakes and coffee waft up from downstairs. Well, the smell of
I
pancakes and
imagine
coffee.
that I would try to pack up Anzu to bring him down to breakfast with me, because I would slip him food into my pouch. I imagine he no longer fits.
He's like, you can fit him in the pouch, but there's no way to conceal him in the pouch. Like, he's kind of just like, you know how like you can see a Joey like in its mama's pouch once it starts getting like a little bigger, like in kangaroos. It's
Yeah.
kind of like that, where he's always poking out, no matter how you try and fit him in it.
Dang. Okay. So, like, as soon as I realize that I can't conceal him anymore, I'd rush over to Darrow's room, kind of like knock, like, Darrow! Darrow!
Yeah, Gary, okay, yeah, pants, where are the pants? There's the pants, okay. I open the door.
We have an issue.
What, come in real quick, okay. Yeah, what's up?
It'd be easier if you just come with me. And then she was just like grab him by, I guess, the wrist. And kind of like drag him towards her room. And kind of just like quickly open the door, like pull him in and just close it.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so what's up?
You see Anzu sitting on the bed, and he's gotten like a roughly like a 45% increase in size and just like sheer mass since you saw him yesterday morning.
Damn, what the fuck you eating?
He's cultivating mass, son.
Okay, so, yes, he's larger. I take it your little pouch doesn't exactly hold him comfortably anymore, eh?
I can't hide him anymore.
Okay. What can I do that can help this situation? AKA, I'm looking through my spell list right now to see if I have Disguise Person. I do not. That must be a special class that gets it. Fuck.
Fun reminder, Skulker.
Isn't it trickery domain, cleric? Is
Yeah,
that a thing?
Trickery Domain gets Disguise Person. I don't get that. I have all the kill people spells. Okay, so what else can we do to help him?
I don't know, but we need to get him out of the city without everyone noticing.
Yeah, I think it would be a bit of a problem if people see a dragon, whether it be a baby dragon or not. I think dragons are kind of a big deal. And isn't this one of them supposedly bad dragons?
So from
Kiri, you would know that white dragons are like specifically like one of the longest standing enemies of the Aarakocra. They occupy like the same like habitats as your people would. So they're like the apex predator when they stir.
So as far as I know, technically all dragons are bad dragons, because that's all I know.
Right. Well, there is a myth. The color of a warring between the chromatic dragons and the colored dragons, where generally the chromatic dragons are the ones who are in favor of mortal beings, such as myself and yourself, whereas the colored dragons kind of are assholes and like to kill everything and be in charge, and that is clearly not a chromatic dragon.
You totally lost me. Anyway.
Yeah, it's details.
Either
Maybe,
way, I don't think having normal folks see him is gonna bid well for us. And then, even if we do get out of the city, what are we gonna do after that?
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Okay. Can we make him look like a dog somehow?
I guess wisdom would be your resourcefulness, right?
Alright, let's give this a shot.
On green image. I mean,
The issue is duration.
Anzu fits within a 5-foot cube.
Right. It is a cantrip.
It has somatic
so you can
components.
continuously.
So every so often it's gonna look like Skulker has like a tick where he needs to like kind of like flourish his hand or something like that. Like every like 50 seconds or so.
Yes, but we also do not know that.
Which, Skulker could possibly be taking a drink from his flask every 50 seconds or so, and he might be able to hide it in that motion.
Probably.
I mean, I can do it while wielding a weapon. Of course, I can do it while wielding a flask.
The only problem is that we don't know that you can do this.
I know. So
I know.
you can-
I'm looking up if I have message or sending something that's not of a fucking 4th level
Well,
plebeian.
Skulker hasn't noticed the commotion going on.
We're in Kiri's room right now.
And we were trying
trying
to
to
do
see
as
if I have
little bit as
sending.
possible.
I don't have sending. Do I have message? I don't have message. What the fuck am I good for? Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. So no.
Bleeding things.
We can figure this out, Kiri. I see your cause for concern. Let me go put on some other clothing, and we should talk to Skulker. I've seen him do some magic-y type things, and I think there's a way to be able to help this, gesturing at all of Anzu, blend in a bit better.
She like nervously agrees with him, and I assume as he's walking out, she would make some sort of comment to Anzu like, "Why'd you have to eat so many pancakes?"
He kind of just like whimpers a little bit because they're the most delicious thing he's ever eaten in his life.
I
He's being
know.
chastised for
Holy
indulging.
water.
I know, Anzu, I know.
Skatha can also literally like speak to him in Draconic. Like he can tell by the tone of your voice when he's being accused by something, but he doesn't know exactly what you're saying. Ranger lets you communicate, like you can communicate any simple like notion to him, where it's like hide or like eat or like fly or like come here, like things like that. But the second it's like a specific question as the quantity of what kind of food he ate, like that can't really be conveyed.
I know. It's just kind of like how I would talk to my cat, even if she can't understand.
Yeah.
Can you fat ass be conveyed in like one word?
I just know that like I have him responding to these things, but I wanted to make it clear that like what he does
Yeah.
and doesn't actually like understand.
Shit. Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess this is our last day here, right? That was free.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess I'll pack up my things and bring down my chest and convene at I guess the breakfast table.
All right.
Wherever Scotha decided to plant himself.
I think if you listen at his door, you'll hear his lute playing. He's definitely awake.
Oh, he's awake. Okay. I guess I'll knock on his door. Like, go ahead down for breakfast. And
Sounds good. I'll join you shortly.
And I'll knock on Skulker's door also and say the same thing, like heading down for breakfast.
Sure thing.
All right. So, Humboldt greets you all as you come downstairs. You see a fair amount of people here. A lot more people than are usually present for breakfast, and they all look very groggy. Hungover.
Yep. No insight needed. They all fucked.
Humboldt, cheerful as ever, calls out to you guys. Good morning. Please have a seat.
Thank you. We'll grab a table over here. I pick one towards the back.
Okay.
Like in a corner, one that maybe is only adjacent to one other table, or at most two, not like in the middle of the room.
Mm-hmm. He calls out to you guys. How many coffees?
Okay, see, Carrie doesn't drink it. Skulker had a bad night. Scotha wants tea. 2 coffees and a tea.
All right. So you hear him call back to Gendry. He calls out 4 plates, 2 coffees, 1 tea, and you just hear like, I got it, like from the back. And, like about 2 minutes later, like Gendry comes out carrying 4 plates, and he places them on the table and says like, morning. And I'll be right back with your drinks. And comes back out a moment later, puts all the drinks down on the table, and says like, enjoy. Thank you for all your help yesterday. You greatly improved the quality of like hosting we were able to provide for our customers. We appreciate it.
No thanks is needed. We are the ones who are appreciative. Thank you for the rooms and for the hospitality.
He bows and like leaves you guys to your own devices.
So, Skulker.
So is Anzu up in the room right now still?
Yes.
Yeah, I am. Before I went down, I would have told him to like stay and be quiet, and then I would have just gone downstairs.
Gendry, one last thing. I know y'all are probably busy taking care of all these people, but we haven't exactly cleaned out the rooms yet, so just give us
That's fine. Checkout's noon.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Skulker, you, I feel like, might be able to help in the situation. You remember that pet that Kiri has? You're aware of it?
I'm not that drunk. Yes, I'm aware of it.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. Well, it's gotten a bit bigger, and we need help concealing it. The nice little pouch that Kiri has doesn't exactly work anymore. And as one could imagine,
You've also seen Scotha has like a large backpack. I mean, he's a large dude. His pack is also large.
right? I mean, that's another option, is if we could just get a bigger pack. But my issue with that theme is going to reach a point where this thing cannot fit in any kind of bag that can be carried by a single being anymore. So that's just putting a band-aid on a hole in the boat.
All right. Well, I solution won't also be a band-aid, but whatever the fuck a band-aid is, but let's try it.
That's fuck.
What the fuck is a band-aid?
A bandage.
Why would you put a dry bandage on a boat hole?
It's a tar and patch, and the that shoves half a pancake in my mouth.
So yeah, I assume we venture upstairs to the room in question.
Yeah, I guess after we finish our meal.
I would bring some pancakes
I
for
guess we'll
Anzu.
just
I would sneak some pancakes.
head up to the room. I mean, Scotha is free to do with what he wishes, but I think Skulker, Kiri, and I are gonna go up and kind of all look at him and be like, "What are we gonna do with you?"
I
What do you
give him
think,
the
Scott?
pancakes.
You
that
want
I
to see the
sneaked.
mysterious growing dragon? You see that, like, as you guys have been sitting here, like, a lot of people have been looking up at you, and there was one guy who came into the bar, or came into the tavern, and saw Scatha and said, Scatha, like, kind of just like, hey, like, this guy. Like, you all definitely draw more attention than you would be just for the races that you are.
We have gained a point of renown.
Yeah, exactly. Renown is good word. Thank you.
Yep. There actually are RPG systems where there's a stat called renown, and it's a point. You actually can put points into it while you're building your character, and it is basically how likely someone is to recognize you, and for that recognition to be either a good thing or a bad thing.
Word.
So you can be a renowned criminal where people recognize you and say, "Oh fuck, Jimmy, stay away from that guy." Or you could be a renowned hero where it's like, "Oh, that guy's a good guy. We should, give him free room and board."
Oh yeah. Well, this is on the positive side. You all finish your meal, and the four of you head on upstairs to the third floor, and Kiri opens her door, and you see that, Darrow has seen him since then, but Skulker and Scatha, you see that Anzu has grown, like, since the last time you saw him yesterday morning, like, a pretty considerable amount for one night of growth.
Skulker looks in his jacket at the bunny and says, "You're not gonna grow like that, are you?"
The bunny kind of just does the nose snuffle thing up at you.
Good answer. Yeah, I've got a few ideas.
Well,
Ideas are good.
by all means, please try them.
Anzu's just on the ground, scurrying around.
He's on the bed. He's splayed out in the sun. You see, like, the light, like, shimmering off his scales.
Okay, so I discreetly but distinctly mouth words to cast Minor Illusion, with the intent of hiding Anzu as a different animal. In this case, a fat raccoon.
Alright.
As a trial run, but as like a proof of concept.
So you see, like a shimmering, like, veil sort of, like, move its way across Anzu, and he now appears to be a fat raccoon. They're only somatic components, so you don't actually have to say anything. But,
Right,
you do have to, like...
I keep
yeah.
confusing
That's all good.
you. Semantics.
Right, you do a couple Witcher hand sign, swirly finger touchy
Yes.
things.
Anzu kind of, like, looks down at himself, or, like, sees you all are kind of just, like, looking at him, and it doesn't seem to be a big deal. So, like, in the same way a kid doesn't freak out if its parents aren't freaking out, like, Anzu doesn't really freak out. He's kind of just perplexed.
Do people
imagine-
keep raccoons as pets?
Yeah.
Alright.
So, if any of you go up to touch him, you'll be able to feel his wings in, like, what seemingly empty space above the raccoon's back. Like, so he still occupies his true shape. but he does look like a pretty like Big Daddy raccoon.
I casket it again and turn him into a giant casket or cask. Sorry, not a casket. Whew, totally different things.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, that's a bit morbid.
Like, dude.
No, like trying to show off, like, what about an inanimate object that's bigger than him and his wings? Or, like, guys, what are we? This or a bigger bag? What are we thinking?
I feel like this is safer
Another
than a
giant
bigger
axe for
bag.
Scotha to carry?
Well, so I was thinking maybe if you could make him look like a dog, because he already kind of acts like a
What?
dog.
No, I've probably seen dogs. Just kidding.
No,
You said
dogs
you've
are
seen
a thing.
dogs.
Dogs are a thing.
You're
There are
a
stat
dog.
blocks for a mastiff. There's a stat block for a mastiff, so they're definitely a thing.
Has Skulker seen people like strangers try to pet people's dogs? Like, you know how that is in modern day. Like, was that a thing back then too?
Back in the day, dogs were not kept as pets and companions. They were mainly for hunting, so they were not very social.
Okay, because I don't want people being like, oh, can I pet it? And then like, what the fuck?
If you saw a stray dog in the street, you quickly screamed at it to make it go away because it was probably going to attack you.
This isn't a stray dog, but yeah, okay, so it'd be okay. So be a character. Alright. One big ass dog. One fat ass dog coming up.
I mean, yeah, he'd be.
I'd say he'd be husky or fluffy or
Yeah, the illusion of the dog would be bigger than he is, because like
yeah.
petite
Yeah.
dogs haven't really been like bred.
Well, I mean, it could be a mid-aged, not mid-aged as far as like a mid-grown
Like a
dog,
pup.
like no longer a puppy, but not quite full-grown, like
Like the
that
6
awkward
month.
stage of like you have huge feet and your ears are massive, but the rest of your body is tiny.
Yeah, like that. All right, cool.
Kiri, can you tell him to keep his wings close to his body?
I don't know if I can. Kind of just understands the simple commands.
I think you can figure out how to train him. I can help you. I think I can help you. We can work together on figuring out how to teach him.
Scotha can literally speak to him.
In character, like, or we can get Scotland.
You know, that's actually if you could tell him what the word for wings are.
Yeah, he's fluent in Draconic, and also dragons were born understanding Draconic. So.
Okay, that's what I was getting at. I didn't know if dragons were born understanding Draconic.
Mm-hmm.
Last
It's
caveat.
just part of it's a innate feature of their existence. They just understand the language.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a dog needs to be taught what sit means.
And usually there's a hand gesture to go with it. Last caveat. I have to do this every minute, and I have to be within 30 feet at all times.
It is a 4. Okay, I get my wisdom to animal handling. That's pretty dope.
It'll help at least now.
So,
We can get out of the
It's
city at
going
least.
to help with getting him out of the city.
Yeah.
No one will ever know once you put the glasses on the dragon.
I mean, that's how Skulker sneaks into places.
So you'll notice that Anzu, like, when Scotha addresses him in Draconic, gets like a very like he's riveted because no one else speaks to him in this language, and then, you know, when Scotha gets to speak with him, like, he randomly is just addressed and spoken to and like can understand and like can't speak back yet, but like understands completely what is being
It's the
said.
first time that a mouth has moved and words have been made, and he doesn't just go like, okay. He's
It's
just
not the
like,
first
oh,
time.
wow.
When we met, he spoke to him in Draconic too.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's been a long time then.
Yes.
almost a little over a week, I think.
Yeah, Kira, you might want to learn how to do that.
I definitely might want to learn how to do that.
Yeah, you might want to get that one.
All right, so you feel the illusion after Skatha like speaks to him, and you notice that Anzu's wings are like pretty as close to his body as they can be. They're still like slightly above the back of this. It's a dog now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
we
you
did
can tell they're tucked in by feeling them.
It's a dog whelp.
Dog whelp.
Nuance question. If I recast Minor Illusion, would people have to re-inspect it to determine that it's an illusion again? Like if they happen to bump into it.
Can you throw?
Wait,
oh,
never
dragon? Mind.
And then we turn the corner, and I cast it again. Like.
I don't know if there's a rule for that. I think hardcore, like to the T as written, they'd have to reinvestigate every time.
Okay.
I feel like if someone was like an adept magic user, if they broke the check once, I'd probably leave it broken. But if it's like Randy Peasant number 3, who happens to be like, huh? And then like rounds a corner, yeah.
Yeah. I'd say give them advantage on the next checks because they have reason to think like something's amiss here.
Yeah, some shit like that.
Okay.
Right. There are certain spells that it says if you save against, if like it make a check. If they save, they're protected for 24 hours. This does not say that.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no rules as written reason why if they fail the investigation once, they will never know that you ever cast an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes an action. So they would need to check. They say, oh, it looks normal, and then need to say, actually, I need to make sure. So it kind of is rare, I would think.
So you all like pack up and descend the stairs?
Mm-hmm. Oh, before we go, while we're in the room all together. So, good, we got this one sorted. What are we doing next? Where do we go? Because right now we're essentially being kicked out.
I mean, you can rent rooms if you wanted to. Like, the festival isn't today or tomorrow.
That would be a decision.
Being homeless isn't that bad. Why are you discriminating against it?
Well,
it's basically, do we want to sleep on the ground or do we want to sleep in bed?
Right. Or, you know, there must be things that we want to do. Like, I'm really curious about what's going on with this orc up north. And I know Skatha would very much like to continue collecting Null Tongues. And we kind of know, I guess, that there's more Knolls in the Underdark. We could also see if there's any more reportings of Knolls. I mean, when my brother, as weird as that sounds to say, it feels wrong, said that there's going to be more Knolls to kill, but didn't exactly tell us where to go or when or why or how. So I think we don't exactly have a clear direction to go next. It might be worthwhile to try to find a cloak that could cover Anzu, as opposed to needing to do this magic thing. But I feel like that's going to be expensive.
Just an ankle height cloak running around?
Well, no, like a cloak of disguise.
Yeah, because I feel like if I did get a regular cloak, then I would probably have to ditch my backpack in order to like have him like sit on my back so he's kind of inconspicuous.
Right, you'd basically turn into a hunchback lady is what you're thinking. Can you actually equip a cloak of disguise self to Anzu, and then he can disguise self himself.
I don't know.
Would he know how to use it? Is a better question, I think.
That's true.
Yeah. Also, would an
What is
animal
his
be able to
intelligence
use it?
modifier?
Zero.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he probably can't use it. Yeah, okay, so there goes that idea.
I mean, plus 0 isn't the worst. Like, he might be able to be instructed on how to use it.
Right, but his spell save DC would be 10.
Yep.
Actually, worse. I think it'd be 8, because he doesn't get a proficiency bonus because he's not an innate spellcaster. But, yeah, I mean, I think the only one who has a clear idea of what they want to do is Scatha, and that's just kill more gnolls. I mean, we got this bag that I forgot to mention to our Inquisitor friend that has the sign of the Mage Corps, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned the Mage Corps, but that's about it.
He mentioned that there was 2 possible people who were trying to betray the Empire. The Mage Corps and the Cavalry, and this is evidence that the Mage Corps are the ones doing it.
Well,
So-
Scatha wants more Null Tongues, and he did mention bombs and the underpasses, dark whatever. We could just go back down there and see if we find anything about these bombs.
And we came back out the way from where we came, so it's possible that you might be able to lead us back to the tunnel that we came down and bypass all those pools of acid to get back to where we found the mage. And just go bumble around in the Underdark for a bit and see what we can find.
So we're heading back underground?
We should prepare first, though. I mean, like, rations, torches, ammunition, healing potions if we can afford them. I don't think we can afford those right now, but
No.
it would be very beneficial.
What's the deal with those on-keg plates we got?
Oh, we might be able to hawk those.
Shields.
We could try to hawk them, see if we can find an armorer, or even an alchemist. I mean, maybe an alchemist would take them.
So, what do you want to try first? The armor or the alchemist?
I mean, why not hit both? We can see what one offers and what the other offers. I mean, who's got the we could send Scatha and I go to the armorer, and you and oh wait, no, Scatha needs to stick with Kiri. So not
Skulker?
Scatha, Skulker. So Skulker and you can go to one of them, and Scatha and I can go to the other. Or we all go together, because we're going to have to meet up and discuss what the prices were anyway.
Yeah, I guess let's just go together.
Okay. So we'll go to the armorer first, because I figure they might actually they might use it or find it useful. And if not, then we'll go see if we can find an apothecary or an alchemist or something.
Alright, so you guys all packed up and checked out?
Yep, I mean, once we figured out what to do with Anzu, I think we were gonna check out.
Alright. So when you're checking out, Humble, like, you know, sincerely thanks you guys for your help yesterday, and just says, like, please be careful out there. I would very much like to see you again. And no, it's not just because of the coin you spend here.
Yep, we sounds like we're gonna be heading back underground, so you might see us again in a couple days, you know, looking just about as worse for wear as we did stumbling in last time.
Well, you know where to find me.
Certainly do. It was a pleasure seeing you again.
Likewise.
See you soon.
He bids each of you farewell.
It's too bad we didn't get to see your cousin, the proprietor of Gnome Depot. Sounds like quite an interesting man.
Bartleby. He kind of shakes his head. I'm sure you'll stumble across him at some point. He stays on the move. He's always trying to promote his business.
Yep. So I guess we're heading out. Skulker, do you know where to go find the armor? You did some shopping the other day.
The armor and the weapon, it was the same guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, let's go. Was I a good customer, or do I think he's gonna be like, oh, this fucker again? Oh, he brought friends.
You were an average customer. I mean,
All right.
yeah.
All business. Fair.
Yeah, you didn't leave a bad impression.
I must have been sober.
You did go in the morning. I mean, alright. So, you all walk back in. You see a tall human, well-built, brown hair, probably in like his mid-30s. Beard, sort of like in the corner of his shop, like tinkering with some tools. And he turns around to greet you and he says, hello. He says, oh, it's you again. Have you gotten to try out the hook yet? Just Skulker.
Practicing with it. Smashed a few things with it. Yeah.
Oh. Well, never heard of anyone using it as a weapon before, but I mean, might as well, right? It's got a sharp end. I see you bought friends. And he kind of like puts down what he's like holding and like, you know, claps his hands off and like walks up to you guys. How can I help you today?
We brought some things to barter with. Thought you might like to take a look at them, see if you're interested. I'll reach into the bag of holding with both arms. And
can you
pull
actually lift them?
I can, yes. I mean, I could make a strength check if you'd like.
I mean, it's a 45-pound. Like, it'd be like picking up like a 45 plate.
And there's
like,
3 of them.
Like, well, he's not pulling out
one.
Yeah, he's just pulling out one.
Okay.
I feel like most adult, like, people and particularly strong birds would be able to just pull it out.
I don't have a negative strength score, so...
And so you just, like, pull it out and, like... He just kind of looks at it and says, like, how the fuck did you get that?
We killed its previous owner.
We earned it.
May I? And he, like, holds out his hands.
Yeah, go ahead.
You see, like, his arms, like, don't even, like, drop as he, like, just takes the thing out of your hands and he's, like, looking at it and he's like, And he, he says to you, I won't know how much it's worth until I try breaking it up. Might I have your permission?
Anyone else have an objection? I mean, we got more than one, so...
I take it you got this off a bug of some kind, and from the looks of it, a pretty large one.
Yep. Yep, it was a giant, terrifying, beetle-like killing monster.
Sounds pleasant.
That's fun.
We won it off of him in a poker match.
Different parts of the exoskeleton cleave and mold in different ways, so there are some parts from these larger bugs that aren't fit for making armor with. However, and he like is holding a hammer and chisel, and he says like he looks at you all for confirmation that it's okay for him to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Is he striking to the center or like towards the edge?
He's got it up on like on its side almost, like vertical, so that its height is like max, and it looks like he's gonna try and like cleave off like a plane of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would work. Don't look to stop him.
Alright, so after a moment no one says anything.
Yeah,
He
we
takes a
don't see him.
stroke with the hammer, and it cleaves, like, pretty nicely, like, nicer than you would expect, and it falls to the table with, like, a dull, like, thud, and you see, like, it maintains the same curvature, like, it's not like a jagged or like fucked up like cleave off. There's like in the same way that like minerals have like cleavage planes and stuff like that, like so do these exoskeleton chunks. He just says,
Right.
Would you look at that? And he like kind of picks it up, like holds it up to the light, kind of moves it around, tries bending it a little bit. It's like, I can make some pretty interesting armor out of this. I tell you what. How many of these you got?
3.
Got 2 more.
Yeah, 3
Alright, I
altogether.
see
2
him.
more.
Yeah, I mean, guys, reach in, pull out one, put it on, I guess, the table. I'll do the same with the other one. Have them side by side.
And he kind of like hefts each of them individually and sort of examines them and says like, all right, looks like you got these all from the same part.
And what part
Okay,
would that be
We
exactly?
We killed a couple of them.
Well, I don't know how much of these I can afford to buy, but I think I might be able to make a profit on some of the gear. Once it's broken, it'll be pretty durable and resilient, but it'll also be lightweight. I'll give you a gold apiece for the plates.
Well, some of the properties you did say were rather unique, and you could turn a profit at a gold. So what about 1.5?
Fuck it. Roll me persuasion.
Yeah.
Listen, buddy. 50 silver is a decent chunk of change. I'm not trying to go hungry just to maybe turn a profit once I'm finished on a project. I'm sure you
That's
understand.
fair. Just wanted to see where I could push it.
How about
Well, maybe we keep one, Scatha?
how about 2 gold total, but you make one of those for one of us? So it'd be,
I
yeah,
imagine
you'd
that
probably-
like if we sold the materials to him, that we could ask him to make something, or we could just straight up ask him to make something for us, right? And pay him for the whole instead of selling him the materials.
Right, well, we could sell him the materials and be done with it. Or we can give him the materials and pay him for the research and development.
Or we can mix the two. We can sell 1 or 2 of them and barter for him to not charge us for the labor to make 1 or 2 of them for us.
It also depends on how much material it's actually going to go into making a suit, because you don't know whether it's going to be a 1 plate or 2 plates
How
or
many suits?
yeah,
Right, or what he's even going to turn it
How many
into.
pieces?
yeah.
I
that's it.
mean, he might not even know what he wants to do with it.
Well, judging by the looks of it, if you don't mind me eavesdropping, that is, this type of material will be better suited for a breastplate. It doesn't have like a breastplate or a shield. It doesn't really have too much bend to it, so putting it on something like legs or like a belt wouldn't really do the trick.
The theory is you want to keep it as close to its original shape as possible.
Precisely.
Well, I mean, I do use shields, but it sounds like Scatha, who had a large part in removing these of their former owners, would like to get a second opinion. So we will definitely keep your offer in mind, but I think we'll hold on to them for a bit longer and see what else we can find to do with them. It was a pleasure talking with you, and we very much appreciate the quote, and we'll be back if things turn that way.
Thank you for your time. I'll gladly take them off your hands for you. Let me know.
Say, you mentioned that the different parts of the carapace, or like the different parts of the bug carapace parts, right, have different properties. If we were to come across another one of these creatures, what would you recommend we break off?
He kind of like, sort of like, rubs his hand on his chin. He goes, I only know about this bit. I'm not too familiar with the organisms that live underground. I only know this bit of information because I happen to have a dwarf friend that I studied with under my last master. Dwarven smiths are much more familiar with this kind of craft. If you're looking for any true answers, you should seek one out.
Thank you.
The dwarves seem to know everything. We got a smith,
We could really use dwarf.
powder, we dwarf liquor. Find a dwarf. It's fucking now. Shoving the armor plates back into the bag of holding while mumbling this.
Finally, my zoology degree comes in. Yeah, wouldn't that be the twist? LazyDM.exe.
Alright, so I don't think any of us have looked for an alchemist yet, or an apothecary. So can we ask around and see if we can gather information from
Primary
people?
question. Is there one in this town in the first place?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Asking around, you learn that there is one apothecary, a gnome, keeps on the northwest side of town. You recognize his shop because it's a large tent.
Cool. Would somebody else like to lead in the bargaining this time, or shall I do it?
Oh.
No, that was fun to watch.
Alright. Ahem. I'll go to knock, but it's a tent, so I guess I'll part the cloth door.
Yep.
Hello?
And you see there's like a small like a shelf or whatever in the back of the tent, and you see a gnome walk out from behind it. He's a pretty old gnome. He, as far as gnomes go at least, he's all gray. He's got a long gray beard, long gray hair, back in like a ponytail type thing. And he's dressed in like simple clothes. You see different jars of herbs and things like laid around the tent. He says, I might help you.
We have some materials that we've came across through collecting them from formerly living organic material, and we'd like you to examine them and see if they're worth anything to you. Would you mind taking a look at it?
Not at all. And you see like he pulls out some glasses and kind of like puts them on his face and looks up at you, and you see his eyes are a little bigger now, and he says like, what do you got?
As I'm reaching into the bag, I will say, my name is Darrow, by the way. What is yours? Bang!
Gregor.
Gregor, pleasure to meet you. This is what I was mentioning.
And you just like, there's no real table or anything, so you just like drop the plate on the floor like at his feet.
So similarly, where the dude before put it on its edge, when he sheared it, I take it out of the bag of the holding and drop it kind of on its edge, kind of holding the sides of it, like one would try to plant a shield into the ground.
So this thing is like probably about like up to his nose, if I had to take a guess. And so you see he kind of just like looks up at you and looks down at the plate and just like kind of gives it like a kick and sort of like recoils a little bit. And he's like, well, I'm pretty sure I know what this is, but I don't think it's any good to me like this. I take it this is from some kind of large insect.
That would be correct.
Man, does everyone have a zoology degree?
I mean, it's a plate of chitin.
Yeah.
They're tradesmen. What's it called? He says, so when you found this, was the thing you took it from still alive?
It was at one point, and we stopped that.
So was there some slimy shit on the underside of this that smelled like rotten fruit?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this one here is clean. If it had some of that slimy shit, we'd be talking. But I'm afraid I have no use for this.
So you're interested in the goop?
Yes.
Okay. So if we were to happen upon another one of these creatures and happen to be able to collect any part of it that we wanted, looking at Kiri and winking, what would you be most interested in?
Sick fucks, aren't you? Well, specifically,
we are tradesmen. We are crazy motherfuckers who go into the Underdark and kill things. Oh,
Tip of the
sorry.
iceberg.
kind of just like raises an eyebrow. Okay. Well,
Sorry about that. A little bit of my fast self slipped through.
and he kind of just moves on without addressing it. And he's like, well, in no particular order, eyes, if they secrete any kind of venom or webbing, any kind of venom sacs or web, like, sacs that they might have. Or, did I say eyes already?
You did say that.
Not to mention the slimy shit under the scales. And, yeah, that's pretty much it.
How much would you be willing to pay for these parts?
Depends on the type of bug they come from and what I can do with them.
Would you be willing to lend us vessels to collect said things in, that we may bring them back to you filled and you may buy the contents?
Tell you what, I charge you for them, but if you come back with stuff, I give you what you paid, plus whatever.
It's like a deposit.
Yeah.
Alright, how much we talking? For like...
I give you 5 glass bottles for 80 copper.
Let's see. 80 copper.
Good deal.
That's what, 8 silver?
Nope.
Oh, that's a silver.
It's 0.8 silver.
0.8 silver. This money changing thing, it's basically metric, but I'm still not quite used to it.
It is basically metric, yes.
Yeah. How many did you say? 4?
80 copper.
Well,
Oh,
4
for
vessels.
5 jars.
5 vessels, okay. And you think a vessel would be able to hold the underneaths of one of these plates?
Well, I mean, gotta get your hands a little messy, but I'm sure you can scoop it in.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of what we were expecting to have to deal with. And eyes and sacs and venomous type things, anything of the squishy and stanky variety.
The squishy snaky variety. Eyes,
Gotcha.
sacks,
All right.
slimy shit.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be going down there again anyway, so might as well try to collect as much as possible. Anyone else want to help chip in? I can throw 30 copper in right now, unless I want to ask for change.
I can get the entire thing if you want.
I mean, Miss Champion's Marksman, sure, you may do such.
Miss didn't lose her money gambling.
Okay. I'll put out the 80 copper that he was asking for.
Alright. Thanks you for your time.
Hopefully we'll be seeing you again soon. Make sure that you've got plenty of money ready to buy what we bring back. I'm sure it'll be top quality stuff. Adding 5 jars to the bag of holding.
Alright.
So when you say glass vessels, are we talking like test tubes, or are we talking like
No,
mason jars?
more like a 2-ounce glass jar, probably. Actually, nah. Probably closer to like a 3 or 4-ounce glass jar. Also, I realize you guys might not use glass jars as often in your lives as I do.
Or
So-
apples.
Probably about if you cut a pole and spring bottle in half and took the bottom half, that's about how big it would be.
All right, that's honestly a. Oh, I just looked up 3-ounce glass jar. That's what I used to buy my weed in.
Nice.
Great.
Again, figured you all deal with ounces more than I do.
No, I actually use them for my job. I collect soil samples in glass jars.
You're a weed dealer? Oh, okay.
That would be a pretty dope job, gotta say. Okay, yeah, no, so 5 glass vessels, let's say.
No wonder you have to quit smoking.
3-ounce glass jar. There we go. Oh, bears the mark of the Escalon College of Magic. That's why I didn't make the connection between the mage corps, because they're not called the same.
That way.
Association. So there you go, Scatha. We cannot sell these to our friend here, but who here can wear plate armor?
Would that be medium or heavy?
No one, to be honest.
What?
Oh,
Scatha's
breastplate.
unarmored. Oh, so breastplate is medium armor.
It is medium.
Yeah.
That's what the dude
So-
said. You could use it as a breastplate or a shield.
Damn. Skull.
I could, but I wouldn't.
Skulker could not. Darrow could. Kiri could.
So basically, I'm
Scatha.
the only one that would benefit from asking him to make it into armor for us.
Oh, Kiri could use a breastplate.
I could, but it would take me off my light armor bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, you probably get more than a +2 from Dex.
She gets a +4 or 5.
+5, I think.
And breastplate is a 16.
Breastplate is 14 plus Dex up to 2. So you would have 16.
16.
I'll find better leather armor. I assume I'd try to buy 2.
Oh, you're correct,
Going for
Mr. DM, sir. It's 14 plus 2. I would be interested in getting that breastplate, because that means it would get rid of my disadvantage on stealth checks.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have scale mail, which is why I was failing all of our stealth checks when we were in the Underdark.
That's why you were failing, sure.
Yes, because I had disadvantage on stealth checks, because I'm a bumbly motherfucker. So, I mean,
So
giving
I feel
him 2 and asking him to R&D making a chitinous breastplate would be pretty awesome.
I agree.
But if y'all would rather have 3 gold towards party funds, that's totally up, because taking one of them for myself is a bit selfish. So
I think it works out better that way. That's gold that we would have spent on better equipment for what it sounds like we're about to do. Take on more on Keg.
I would rather you have something out of it than us have nothing out of it.
well, we'd have money, but
And we would have just spent the gold on better gears at some point anyway. And Skulker motions to his grappling hook, like case in point.
true. I haven't really gotten an upgrade in a while. So yeah, I guess we'll go back to him, see what he can do, and then we'll go back down and do some more hunting. So yeah, I guess we'll go back to the blacksmith. I didn't ask for his name last time. Okay.
It's Burke.
Burke.
Skulker remembers.
Skulker always remembers.
False, but Skulker remembers this time.
All right. So I guess I'll walk in. Burke, buddy, pal, we're back.
I don't think I caught your name, friend.
My name is Darrow.
Hey there. What can I do for you?
We are back with our odd wares that we would like to sell to you and take on a proposition of you spending a little bit of research and development time of figuring out how to turn one of these here plates into either a breastplate or a shield, preferably a breastplate for use by myself.
Well, you're in luck. I already know how to make it into a breastplate. Problem is, it's going to take me about a day if I start right now.
Works for me. I mean, you gotta kind of, I don't know about anyone else, like day as in like it's what, 10 a.m. now? It'll be like ready like 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Pretty much.
Unless anyone else would rather go down into the Underdark like today versus tomorrow, we could kind of fast travel anyway.
If you want to get the plate before we go down, we couldn't wait. If you want, it's up to you.
That kind of sounds like an excellent idea. So that I am much less likely to die because we're going to be down one party member. Yeah. Go right ahead, Burke. Here's all your stuff. And
so, how many plates am I buying from you?
2.
Okay.
And
2 gold. I'll charge you for the breastplate when it's finished. For now, let's just keep it simple.
So
are you going to charge us as the full cost of a breastplate, or because we provided you the materials to make it, is it going to be at a discount?
Don't worry. I do honorable business. I appreciate the materials. I'll cut you.
So you're giving him one and selling the other 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait. He'd give you 3 golds then.
No, slow down.
Because you're giving him 1 and selling him the other 2. He's just going to pay you for everything you give him.
No, because we're giving him 2 to sell. That's 2 gold. The other one we are lending to him so that he can spend hours turning it into something that we want. So we should be paying him for labor costs. Like if I go to a car mechanic but bring all the parts they need to fix it.
Yeah, like if you go to a mechanic, you don't sell them your car, they fix it, then sell you your car back.
So 2 gold minus labor for 1 breastplate.
Alright. So he'll give you 2 gold and he'll charge you like labor and everything once the breastplate is done.
Right. Like if creating the breastplate requires using leather and nails and hours, you can charge us for the raw material and the hours it takes. And then we're basically paying him to research and develop so that he can then take the other 2 and sell them. So it should be like R&D at a discounted rate.
Or unless you're saying that he needs more than 1 plate to make a breastplate.
Or that, which he might as well, he could let us know at the time.
1 should suffice.
Okay.
It's almost like 50 pounds.
Yep. Alright, so 2 gold, and we'll return in a day to settle the tab.
Alright.
So since all of us helped harvest these, I'll add this to our bag of holding so that it may be used as party funds. So if anyone needs to get an armor upgrade or ammo, or next time we need to pay for rent, we can take it out of that.
So,
selling bug body parts.
You all have now signed up for another day. Is there anything else you'd like to do while you're going to be in town this whole time?
Well, I could check whether he has any
shoes.
better leather
shoes.
armor. Yeah, and looking for shoes for Darrow.
Leather shoes?
Well, I'm looking just for leather armor altogether, and for Darrow, I don't know what he wants.
Yeah, like boots.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. Does Scatha want a shield?
I think he uses a 2-handed axe.
Oh, it's a one-hander. He can go two-handed on
It
it,
is?
like it's versatile axe. Which one's that? The battle axe, I think.
I thought he dual wields.
Okay, we can ask him how much to make a shield.
Yeah. And you go back in. He would sell you shields. What's it called? Give me just a sec, because I want to make sure my gold values are staying consistent.
50 gold.
So it would run you about 15 silver.
For like a metal shield or like a chitin shield?
For a chitin shield. And that's that's like he's gonna use the materials provided to him. He can make, like, one of these plates is a decent amount of material. He can make the breastplate and the shield, like, from the same chitin.
Do it,
So-
do it,
Oh,
do
word.
it, do it.
So he'll just charge you for the time and the parts. The
Word.
shield's much easier. It'll only take a couple extra hours, so you come back tomorrow, like, early afternoon.
Alright, so we'll come back at lunch tomorrow.
Does he have any leather armor, or is there anyone around here that would sell leather armor?
There's a leather worker down the street.
Alright.
Oh, I need those. My feet are starting to hurt. I'll
Let's go.
go to the leather shop next.
Alright. Simple human guy. Dark facial hair. Dark hair. Like a stern expression. Burke tells you his name is Ralph. You see he's got different wares, like, around his shop.
I would ask Ralph if, after a warm greeting, if he has any light leather armor that would be worth my time.
Or studded leather.
Studded leather, jerkins, boots, wrist guards, bracers, backpacks.
I would like to stick to the light leather armor.
Just regular leather armor?
Whatever is light.
You can go up to studded, which is
Yeah,
a plus
so that
12
would be-
instead of a plus 11.
Yeah, so he is studded leather.
I mean, Kiri, if you just want leather armor, I could get studded leather armor and give you what I have.
Well, I
I mean, what
have
do you
leather
have
armor,
right
but like I
now?
just want anything that's gonna level me up. But
Right, yes, so you'd want to go to studded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Alright. Studded leather is going to cost you about 15 silver.
What about after trade-in?
We don't stop trading, sir.
I would like to think that this guy just looked at Skulker, did like an up and down, and was like, yeah, we don't accept trade-in.
Like they do, but he looked at me and just like, oh shit, we don't do trade-ins.
Obvious
Exactly.
puke stains.
Smells like liquor.
We, meaning this customer and I, do not do trade-ins. I look at whoever of the parties here, like, can I dip into the party funds already? For 4 silver?
I
Or
mean,
6
that's
silver?
Sure.
part of why it's here. Can you change a gold, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
How would you like it? Silver?
In 2 gold, please.
Yep. Mostly silver. Mostly silver and whatever copper's necessary.
Buddy, it's up to you to determine how much is necessary.
Well, I'm saying whatever's
That's
necessary
silver,
is
that's
if there's like 17 silver left after the 17 copper left after the transaction, obviously I'm not gonna just give that to you.
Well, it's 15 for the studded leather.
So we want 2 sets of that, so it's gonna be 30 silver. Right?
And
Yeah,
shoes for you.
Gold, and a gold is 100 silver.
Yes.
Right.
So
So
he would give you
no
170 silver and right?
Yeah,
Minus
so
30.
no copper was needed. So no copper.
Mhm.
Thank you, metric system.
What are you doing there? Are you upgrading armor or are you just going for
No,
shoes?
I'm
He's
I'm
waiting.
fine. I just want shoes,
Ah,
You like shoes, boots,
I'd like some boots.
galoshes, boots.
some boots, some closed-toe boots.
Durable pair will cost you 3 silver.
All right, add it to the tab.
All right. So that will be 167 silver going back to you guys with a pair of boots and 2 sets of studded leather armor. I says like, my leather's high quality leather. It won't be eaten away easily or anything like that. So
That
you're wondering where the price tag is coming from.
lovely.
I swear. Most boots don't cost you more than a couple weeks at an inn, but I think after using them for a while, you'll see why.
Yeah, last time my boots were literally eaten away, so I think these will do a little bit better. Oh yeah, I'm sure he'll figure it out. I gotta put this bag of holding somewhere different because it's lost in the middle of my inventory. Alright. So, 1 gold piece and 170 silver piece are in the bank.
Skulker's gonna be carrying the studded.
I don't remember what Flint's situation's like with his armor. Enough to make a decision for him.
Okay, then we'll mention it.
I think it would be better to operate under the condition that he can handle himself than to make preparations and him come back and already have something better than what we got him.
Yeah, don't worry about him.
Okay.
It's a very kind thought.
Thank you.
Okay, so if there's nothing else to do, then we can say that we relaxed, crawled back to Humboldt, said, "Hey, Humboldt, so we're in town for the night. You think we can stay here?" Or we can go to Brother Menlo and be like, "Hey, Brother Menlo, you think we can crash on one of your stone benches if we want to be really cheap?"
Your call.
How much was it a night before, silver?
No, it was just a sec. 25 copper a night.
Oh, that's nothing.
I'll pay for the rooms because everyone else has paid so far, except me. So.
Alright. So I'll be 1 silver even for the 4 of you.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Y'all got yourself another night. Anyone have anything they'd like to do before bed?
How much to fill up my 2 flasks? Good old Humboldt.
Good old.
Oh, I'll
What are you filling them with?
Water. What do you think I'm filling them with?
I mean, are you
Not-
filling them with ale? You filling them with the fire water?
Yeah, I would say not firewater.
Woo! No, something light.
Some grog.
You want some
Mead?
mead?
Yeah, mead sounds about right.
Mead. Oh, mead. I'm currently drinking mead right now.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That'll be. So you're filling up 2 of the personal size casks,
No, just 2 tiny flasks.
2 tiny flasks.
Because I don't have a
10
personal
copper.
cask anymore. That kind of,
Oh yeah,
Big
that's right. You
blew
blew
up.
it up.
2 copper?
10 copper.
10 copper. Alright.
I'm drinking a strawberry rhubarb mead. It's
Ooh.
amazing.
That sounds delicious.
Can I
It is.
retcon the mead in my flask to be strawberry rhubarb?
Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
It's a specialty one left over from came from the elves.
Seasonal, huh? Nice.
You know, rhubarb, if it's not prepared right, can be quite poisonous. This is crafted by the elves. It's beautiful stuff.
Alright. Is that all we'd like to do for the night?
Unless we
would
need to
like-
get any other supplies like rations, etc. That could be a good stop.
While we were out shopping,
Mhm.
we should refill on torches, get some oil, and
Oil?
That way we can redo the fire trick if need be without wasting all of his liquor.
We could have asked the alchemist about that.
Well, I mean, we stopped midday. We got like at least 5 more hours to hop around and actually look up stuff before we go to bed or before we head back for dinner.
Totally.
Okay.
So, how many torches did we use last time? Like 5 torches?
I didn't use
Over
any.
3 days.
It was Flint mostly and Skulker that used torches.
Right, so let's get...
I'm at 7, so I mean, I've probably used, what, 3 total? 4?
I think Flint kept it going mostly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we used 4 torches, so we should probably replace our stock of torches. So we should probably get 4 torches, 2 flasks of oil.
Does oil come in flasks too? I don't want
They
to
do.
use those.
They do. They come in glass flasks. They're really good for throwing.
Mm.
Or at least, typically. It's up to Connor how he wants to run it.
Mhm.
What else do we want?
We won't know until we need it. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, the minimum of that stuff. What's Mr. DM, sir? How much?
What's
that?
what?
How much would...
4 torches and
4
2
torches.
flasks of oil.
Like 25 copper.
Word out of the party fund.
How much would a simple medical kit cost?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Probably about, if you want like a decent one with like a bandage and like stuff to make a poultice and a tourniquet and things like that, probably closer to like 30 copper. Maybe like
Easy.
a nice one though.
Yes, preferably. I might be on the lookout for that, so whatever, stop.
Or
So where to first? Or are we just gonna
I think we're just gonna rush through it all and just say that it happened.
Okay. So I'm gonna subtract 40 and say that I have a medical kit now.
Do you have... Actually, it's not... You don't need proficiency in a medical kit. But, medical kits are used with a medicine check to stabilize a dying person.
Yep.
They're not used for healing.
Okay.
Still a very good thing to have.
Yes. I will also mention meta. I have a cantrip that does the same thing.
Yeah, but what if you're the one that's
Yeah, giving
not
the
alright?
ability to someone else is, yeah.
Meta, you're amazing. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Darrow's had the
Meta,
high score
you
for
get
close
hit a lot.
calls.
Yeah.
Yes,
Meta.
I do. I am not a smart boy. Darrow is not a smart boy. Sean likes to think tactically. Darrow likes to run in feet first.
And how many rations do we need to restock? I need 2 to
Oh,
go up to
shit.
10.
Yeah. How many did you use?
We used 2, I believe. Because we had 2 long stops or something like that. Unless I fucked up,
Oh,
in which someone could tell me that I fucked up counting.
3.
We used
We
3?
used 3.
Okay.
Right, so we need a refill to 3. How much do rations?
Yeah.
DM, sir.
Simple rations will cost you like 6 silver a pop, or no, excuse me, 6 copper a pop. But they'll be like
Okay, I was
very
gonna be like,
basic,
wow.
like
Damn.
jerky and like a little piece of bread.
6 copper. I can do that out of party funds. So it's 4 of us, 6 times 4. It's 24. Done.
Okay. So I'm back to 10.
We have 1 gold, 169 silver, and 51.
We should also leave a little bit of that funding for Flint to do whatever he needs to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Side meta note.
Yep. Also, something that Paul, aka Scatha, aka Pops, mentioned earlier about his shield, Connor said that the blacksmith can use one plate of chitin to make the breastplate and the shield, so we still get the 2 copper from that transaction. Or 2 gold. I said copper, didn't I?
Yep.
Okay, yep, gold. My God. Gotta say, Connor, the way that you're playing with the money, gold feels so much more powerful.
That's how I wanted it to feel. Every other game, it's like copper and silver. You hear them, you're like, ha! Fucking peasant trades. You like flick it at the fucking shopkeep.
Right. It's like, that'll be 5 copper. Take it!
Yeah, pretty much.
Whereas when you said, oh, I'll give you a gold for the plate, like, a fucking gold? Yes! Word. Okay. I think that's it, right?
I think so.
Cool. Be Gucci then. Oh, last thing I'm going to do is at night, I'm going to, or not as late as I was last night, but like after dinner, I'm going to go on a stroll about and make a dead drop with a note and whatever lingo I'm supposed to use, asking for a place, a time, and like a place and a time, what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. And I'll come by and I'll check it in the morning.
Alright. You'll do it in like a place where like if someone's following you, they will very obviously see
Right,
it.
yeah, like a dead drop basically is the Russian spies and the US spies do it. That you'd basically wrap up something in newspaper and drop it in a trash can and look around and someone would come by and grab that newspaper and there'd be like a thing in it.
Mm-hmm.
What is this newspaper of which you speak?
So I'm not creative enough to think up of what exactly I would do with a dead drop right now, but I can come up with something if you'd like.
No, I mean, you know, Darrow's been doing this for a couple of years. I'm sure he would be able to do it in a way where, especially he knows he's being followed, like, I don't think it would be too hard to pull off.
Right. I meander around for about 15, 20 minutes outside and be like, he must have found me by now. Fucking drop something and then head off. And then I'll swing by in the morning. Where I left it and see what's responded.
Alright. Anyone else have anything they like to do at night?
Nope, I think just drink, eat, and be merry.
Alright. So, y'all paid for a room, so dinner is free. Drinks are gonna cost extra.
I'm just gonna drink water and milk.
Alright. Skulker.
You see him like eyeing what's behind the bar. I'll have a, and he flinches a little bit. Just water. Water.
He commends you on your resolve.
Ari kind of just like scooches a little closer to Skulker and kind of like puts her hand across his forehead.
Are you sick?
Alright. So, night fades into day without incident. Y'all head downstairs. Complimentary breakfast.
I like
Gyro,
that.
I take it you leave without other people to check what the note says?
Unlike my usual self, I'll get up before Skulker. And once everyone's back down, I'll walk into the front door and they'll be like, wait, when did you...
Alright. I'm just gonna message you what the note says.
Cool. It's interesting how Paul like is in the chat room, but never says anything and then types everything.
I think he's just trying to be nice about noises that come through his mic.
True.
He's learning.
Alright, that's what the note says.
Okay. Midday, A. Fuck. Okay. Why did I have to make this character this way?
I know the feeling.
Why do I have to be this way?
Because I enjoy creating conflict as a DM.
Connor.
What is a campaign but just one really long conflict
Touche.
with different sub-conflicts?
Are you making him trade away Leona's vial with a tadpole in it?
Yo, we still haven't learned what that thing is and why the orcs had it, and it's like this powerful thing, and we got it at level 2. It's just like, what?
I feel like.
I mean, we kind of know like
so
a
that-
side thing about it that like it just responds to elements, but like that's what we know.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
all
an
we
element
know.
barometer.
I think it's related to that temple we should have gone to. That would have been a one-shot. Especially since Merkelar was like, "Yeah, that vial's fucking useless now, you slowpokes."
Oh, I already have another conflict.
Wait,
in mind
what?
Also, speaking of slowpokes,
You're
you get to stumble across.
you just shattered my dreams in a story that I don't know happened.
Wait, oh, you mean Merkelar?
Yeah, I didn't know the vial is useless now. I haven't been there.
Useless, but he kind of glossed over it. Like, I imagine he didn't really bring it up when Jedron last talked to him. Like, but
When was
he mentioned the
Jedron last
sword,
talked to him? Was I there? Question
I
mark.
think you were there. It's when Shade was down and out.
There was a plenty of times where Shade was down and out.
I'm
No.
down and out right fucking now, bro.
That was too. We'll come back to this. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Back at the inn. I'm going to have to get. Okay. Sorry, I was brainstorming for a bit, and I've come up with my plan now. But that means I'm going to have to brief the party, which means more roleplay, which means I'm sorry, Paul.
I think, what's it called? More roleplay? Or, I'm gonna say, you can just TLDR it, like, out of character, if everyone's like that.
Right, well,
Mm,
TLDR, Darrow is a sick kid who had a bad childhood, got involved in some seedy people, is now responsible for upholding bad things, but is trying to get out of the life, and he needs to pick up 4 slaves, hand them off to Brother Menlo for protection. We go down into the Underdark. I pretend that you 3 are my slaves, whilst we pretend to hand you over. We break out of our bonds, kill everyone, take the bombs, report them to the Empire, become the good guys.
It's a hell of a plan. I like it.
I like how it like switched. So you had 3 slaves and there's 3 of us. You got the. I like
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Wait, what? There's 4 slaves.
Yeah, I know, I'm going to be lying about that part.
Oh,
Unless
Yeah.
you kind of.
easy clap.
Unless you want to switch Anzu into a slave.
I mean, we can just use well,
Well, okay. Here's the thing. There's a little bit of a caveat there.
it's an illusion that could be seen through.
not just that, but minor illusion. I didn't realize this until shortly after we planned everything out. I can't change what minor illusion looks like without recasting it. So if Anzu was a dog, you probably should have been carrying him the whole time. Otherwise, he would have been a static image of a dog walking. Like that would have freaked some people out.
Just a floating dog. Like the legs don't
basically.
move.
Yeah, like a glitched out game or something.
So then I guess he was on your back just as a dog.
Yeah. So that still worked, but no.
And every minute or so, it would twitch its head to look like it's moving, but it's like a bird. They're just twitch.
Yeah. But silent image, which is an actual first level spell. That's the only one that I can make the image move time.
Right. Okay.
So
yeah.
I still think we can pull this off, but
right. So yeah, we need to pick up 4 slaves. I'm going to bring the slaves.
Scatha's worth at least 2 slaves, right?
I'm going to bring the slaves to Brother Menlo and say, these people need safe harbor in your church. Do not let them leave these walls. Keep them hidden. And I'm going to bring the 3 of you into the Underdark, and when we reach the holding, they probably don't know they're getting 4. I'll just tell them they're getting 3. And if they say we were supposed to get 4, I said I got fucking hungry.
Or 1 died on the way.
Yeah.
The young kegs demanded tribute.
It's pretty easy.
So what are we gonna do with the dog that's with us?
Nah, it's my dog.
Alright.
How does Anzu feel about that?
I picked up some common clothes so that you guys can put them over your garb to make you look like your slaves.
Bigger question. You sure they're not gonna recognize, I don't know, the champion of the village? Motion at Scatha.
Rude.
And
I'm right here.
Road girl.
We're gonna be meeting with orcs. They're kind of dumb.
A lot of you people are dumb in my eyes, but I don't like making assumptions like that.
Hey, this is the best I can come up with, man.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's a good plan, but it's a fun plan.
Are you sure we can take these orcs on? Aren't orcs larger creatures?
Yeah.
Stronger creatures?
Yeah.
Big threatening boys?
The other option is I don't do what they ask. Someone else makes the trade. These innocent people are handed over to orcs, and dangerous weapons are handed into the hands of the bad guys, and we do nothing about it, and I become a fugitive of my organization, and people start coming after me.
We don't have to beat the orcs, because we're going to make the trade, and then those of us traded will escape, right?
Escape or fight them off.
Well, about fight them off, you'll have bombs, won't you?
Yeah.
We don't want to use the
around and
bombs.
use them.
Didn't you hear what the Inquisitor
It's
said?
the Underdark. We
You're
only need
all in
one
the
of them
same
as proof.
confined space. That would be like the most scorched earth approach to that hypothetical.
That's
fight.
literally like, hey, we have napalm. Why not just napalm ourselves?
It worked last time.
No!
Here.
Level 4, let's go!
Okay, I'm starting to see the problem here.
Yes, thank you. I think, well, let's not put innocent lives in danger. Let's go
But
with
That's why I'm saying
plan
we should leave
A.
the slaves at Brother Menlo, with Brother Menlo, because we need to get into the Underdark through his tabernacle anyway.
So your
And the only way that
organization
we're
got
going
you
to
going
get-
through a tabernacle? That seems a little backwards.
No, the only way that I know how to get into the Underdark is through the church. And they didn't tell me where I should get into the Underdark from.
Oh, because I don't feel like they would tell you to go through a church. That seems a little...
Right, they just said where to meet them, how many to expect, and what I should do.
Okay. Well, I guess
I'm
plan
pretty
A
sure
is.
escaping is not our issue. Let's have some fun.
Well, that depends whether, it's going to be a dexterity or a strength thing, because, like, some of us have no weaknesses. But,
I've got thieves' tools. I've got a magic hand. You're part of the party.
oh, I'm not talking about me. I have... my proficiencies are in dexterity and strength, sir. I'm not the issue. But yeah, I guess,
And none of us are the issue.
plan
Let's go.
A is the best plan.
Yep. That's what I got. It's the situation that we're in. I'm sorry I brought you guys into this, but this is what has followed me.
And we all have our histories. No one's a clean slate. We move forward.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
What have we landed on?
I am going to go get the slaves myself.
Okay.
And I will bring them to the temple.
We'll meet you at the Abbey then.
And we'll meet them. I will meet you. Well, everyone will meet at the Abbey.
Yeah.
All right. So, head to the western edge of town. You walk about 5 minutes outside the the western boundary, and you come to like a small grove of trees where you see your acquaintance Dalton sitting in the grove of trees with four.
Oh, OG Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same guy we met in your intro cinematic.
Yeah, OG. Yeah.
So he's a human, slick back, greasy hair, and he has a scar over his left eye.
He's a greaser.
Pretty much.
Tunnel snakes.
He smiles when he sees you approaching. He's with 4 humans. One of them is a child, and the other 3 are one of them is like a female child, and the other 3 are like women, and they're all human. And he smiles when he sees you approaching. So he's like, so it is true. And he just spreads his arms almost as if to give you a hug, but I have a feeling you probably don't want to give him one.
I just I do the thing. Well, okay. How would I? Dara doesn't like being touched, so just kind of
just deadpan, just stare.
No, I just kind of nod. It's like, yeah.
All right.
I'll put my hand out, I guess, to shake.
He smiles and shakes with you. He says listen, Daryl. Big guy's paying attention to this one specifically. I wouldn't fuck this up if I were you. He turns to the slaves. You see they're unbound. He says, you try running, this guy could kill you just by lifting his arms. I wouldn't try anything funny if I were you. And he gestures to your mace and your armor as well. And he's like, I wouldn't try overpowering him either. He's been through the shit. And he just kind of winks at you because he knows you're still relatively green compared to he's a lifelong criminal. You're a novice criminal still, approaching mid-tier, I guess.
I basically just stopped being a messenger boy.
Because you said you've been part of this org for 4 years now, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Alright, yeah. So you know the tricks of the trade. You can handle your own, but by no means are you a seasoned veteran of the underworld.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're a mercenary, so a mercenary isn't necessarily shady work. It's a living.
I'm sure he did some shadier work occasionally.
Yeah, I mean, you've dabbled Like, I'm sure you know where the seedier bars are, or like where you could find shady figures, but you probably wouldn't know any of them like by name.
Fair. All right.
Yep. So the gist is take these folks, exchange them with the folks I see down in the caves, around the same places I found that bag, and get the goods from them, and then they take these off.
Something like that. So, rendezvous in the Underdark is kind of tricky. Apparently the goblins have a way of doing it. And he, like, drops, like, a small, like, red stone into your hands. And he says, you're gonna need a way of navigating down there. Compass isn't always reliable. So it'd be best if you could either just keep an eye on which way is north, or if one of those friends of yours, and he kind of like smirks, happens to be well versed in the ways of travel, will probably help. These
What's this for then?
Will glow when you're in proximity of the other stone. They're a bonded pair. The troop you'll be meeting, if I'm not mistaken, it's 2 goblins and 2 orcs. They're the same party we parlayed with last time. They act on behalf of a larger group of orcs. I don't know too much about how they do things up there. But the gist is this. You head north until your stone starts glowing. You find each other. You make the trade. And you make your way back.
Should be simple enough.
We'll know when you're back in town. As long as you come back the same way you go down. If you try hiding from us again, we won't be talking like this next time we see each other.
Obviously, I wasn't hiding. Otherwise, you wouldn't have found me so easily.
I wouldn't be too sure about that. Well, tick-tock. And he kind of like gives you like a I'm an asshole type smile.
Yarp.
And he kind of just like gestures like, go on. I'm like,
be seeing you. I just turn and do the hands facing down shooing. Like, come on. To I guess the children and the women.
Yeah.
What are they dressed like right now?
Pretty just like they're basically wearing like burlap sacks.
I'll bring out the sets of common clothes and say, this will make you blend in a bit better. Put these on.
They kind of like look up at you like they're sort of hesitant to just like change in the middle of the road right here in front of you and
go on. Get!
They look at you very confused as I, the DM, look at my screen very confused, unsure of what you're trying to tell. Go on, just change like right now?
Yeah.
Alright, I mean, yeah, they change into the clothes you've given them.
So then we keep on moving then. So on the way to the meetup, I guess, fuck. It's up to the rest of the party if they want to go to the armor to take care of that before I get there, but I'm going right to the Abbey.
I mean, if you're going straight to the Abbey, they'll have to go to the armorer first.
Because I didn't think
Before.
about stopping by his shop before doing my meetup, so I didn't do it.
So the guard, like, you walk back into town and the guards at the west gate kind of look at you like a little quizzically. You left alone, you're coming back with this group of women with you, and they don't say anything, but they just, like, study you. Like, they don't stop you either.
I will... I have the signed paper from the government. Does it have a seal on the outside of it?
It does.
I'll flash that. And say nothing.
They still look a little suspicious, but I mean, they weren't going to stop you in the first place.
I know. I just don't want them going and reporting me.
Fair enough. Oh wait, that's right. Scotha has the writ.
Oh right, he took it from me. Fuck. Okay, I guess I did.
He took it from the Inquisitor.
Right, and I chased after him, and I didn't.
You snoozed and you lost. Well.
Okay. Cool. Excellent. Love it.
Yeah, but they just, I don't know, study you quizzically. They don't stop you. No trouble.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm heading straight to the apothecary. Not apothecary. Fuck, the religious place.
Abbey.
Yes, that word.
So, we come back to our other 3 party members. Daryl's just left a few minutes ago. What are you guys gonna do?
Well, we are gonna meet him at the Abbey, but I don't know if we would have thought to go by the blacksmith before we got.
Smoker's fine with chili.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys would have coordinated.
Yeah.
You delayed the trip so that you could get these goods. I'm sure you would have. You're not gonna leave without them. Yeah. So 3 of you walk into Burke's shop as he's just like polishing off the shield. Morning.
Good morning. We're here to pick up the shield and breastplate.
Yes, yes.
So how much does
And
it
he's gonna like
to?
put the shield down on the counter, put the breastplate down on the counter.
How's it look?
So it's interesting. He's cleaved the chitin in such a way where it's like a thinner plate of what it was before with the same shape, and like upon like touching it and trying to like flex it and stuff, it still has the same resiliency that it did before it was cleaved. Even in this like probably about a third of its original width, the material still holds its like properties. What's it called? The shield is going to come to 15 silver, and the breastplate is going to come to 25 silver. And that's just cost of materials and hours and such. These would have retailed for higher. If you were looking to pawn the shield, you could probably sell them for about double. Or the shield or the breastplate, you can sell them for about double. So it would have been 50 to buy.
And because I imagine Daryl has the bag of holding still on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have all the party funds.
I will pay out of my pocket and then get it out later.
Alright. So that'll be 25, 15...
35.
What was that?
35, because you said 20 and 15.
Oh, 20 and 15. Right, my bad. So yeah, 35.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So, stat-wise, this chitin shield is a +1 shield, so that means it gives +3 to your AC total. The breastplate is the same like regular breastplate and gives no disadvantage on stealth.
Word. Yep, so we bought them for half their worth, basically. So it's a 30 silver piece shield and a 40 silver piece breastplate.
Mm-hmm. And the +1 to the shield isn't because like of the strength of the material or anything like that. It's because comparatively to like a normal shield of the same size, the normal shield would be heavier to lift.
Right, so this is actually much more maneuverable.
Yeah, exactly, that's where the +1 is coming from.
Yep, so Scotha can add a +1 shield to his inventory, because that's who's going to use it, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a legitimate question. You guys have some pretty convincing evidence that you're not scumbags if you wanted to bring the law into this. Between the writ and the badge, you probably say, like, look, like...
I mean, I am waiting at the
Abbey.
Temple. Abbey, yes, that word. I don't know why I have such difficulty to remember some of the words that Connor used to describe these things.
That's alright.
The only thing is that I don't think Burke has, like, the authority to where we're not gonna get him in trouble or it's not gonna hurt him in this case. Because this is, like, a bigger deal, clearly, because the Inquisitor of the royal family intelligence agency came to us, and not the, like...
I think he's saying more like find, like, a guard and, like, see if you can get someone of authority, and not Burke, necessarily.
You guys shouldn't tell a guard. We're gonna fucking die if you tell a guard.
That's what I'm afraid of.
The Syndicate is gonna have rats everywhere.
And it's gonna be very, very clear that we've talked to someone.
Yeah, unless we talk to the Inquisitor directly, if you tell anyone else, we're done.
Okay, because let's be honest, like, regular level guards are not going to be like, oh, we should probably be careful with the shadows and shit, because they're probably already watching us. They're going to be like, oh,
if you tell a regular guard, they're going to be like, you said what?
Yeah. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure the Syndicate already knows who we are, because we've been with Darrow.
Right,
so like, if we go talk to someone, it already makes us look sketch-tastic. So I think that would be a nay on talking to a guard or official. And
after we're done, we're going to need to hide somewhere, and that is when we talk to the authorities.
And I'm pretty sure we should leave town and not put, like, the River Run place in danger.
Humboldt. We're not going to want to put Humboldt and Gendry in danger. I mean, as it is, as soon as we double-cross them, they're going to come after whoever we've associated with as bargaining. Likely. Not... It's possible. Likely, not guaranteed.
No, but we also need to figure out a way to contact Inquisitor. Yeah. I don't think the Prince has... I don't know. I think the Inquisitor is our best shot, but I don't know where to find him necessarily. We just know that
I'll bring up the map. So you guys are in Greenwich here. He did say he was in Croydon.
We don't have the
Just
map
here.
up.
Oh, fuck. There we go. So this is Greenwich,
Mm-hmm.
right here.
He said
Croydon
he was
is-
in Croydon.
Okay. So he's Northville of us.
Yep.
Alright. Well then... we either never come out the Abbey side and just keep
Could find
going.
a different way back to the surface.
Yeah.
Right, that's probably what we're going to have to do. Which is probably good that we stocked up on supplies, because we might be down there for a bit.
Well, actually, no, that's not the best to have the cops involved because of what we because of what we said, right? Like if we talk to anyone now, they're gonna know that we've talked to someone because they already have
Right.
eyes on us. They already know
It's
who we
better
are.
off that we're going to go down there. It's going to take at least 2 days for us to come back. So that gives us 2 days head start. So I'm assuming, so you got the armor, we're back in the Abbey. I have brought the slaves in their common clothes into the Abbey. And I will tell Brother Menlo, these unfortunate souls were part of trafficking. I must admit, I have been participating in an underground syndicate, and I'm trying to get out from under it. I've seen the light. I want to be a good person. This is a shadow that's haunting me. I need you to take care of these people. Do not let them outside. Do not let them be recognized. Don't let anyone you don't trust with your own life let them know that they're here. They need to stay hidden. Dress them in robes. Cover their faces. Whatever it is, just make sure that they don't look like they're ever going to be recognized for a bit. At least a week.
So Menlo kind of like shakes his head. Says like, "You would ask me to be their captor?" In blue.
I would
himself,
ask you to be their savior.
by forcing them to stay confined within the church.
It is better than to forcing them to be servitude to goblins and orcs to do whatever it is that they want to do to them. Whatever sick fantasies they could even possibly come up with.
Goblins and orcs. You're going back down?
Yes.
And he like sighs and like pinches, like he puts like a finger to like his temple, and he's kind of like rubbing his head, and he's like, "We just finished patching up the hole in the wall. The entire thing was bricked this morning. The
Well,
mortar's
do you know-
still fresh."
Yeah, we're going to have to punch a hole in it again.
Very well then.
We'll pay you back for the wall if it needs be.
I cannot deny that I am disappointed, but I am happy that you are trying to do the right thing. Please do not make plans based on my cooperation before speaking to me in the future.
This was very short notice, and this is the best that I could come up with.
I will help you, but I will not forget this.
As I will not forget your favor.
He nods. Just make the break as cleanly as possible.
Are you speaking of the wall or from my...
Of the wall.
Oh,
If
okay.
you are not back in 5 days, we will close it.
Before committing to this, I don't know if we're going to be coming back this way.
All the better.
I mean,
5 days, I will assume you have either died or come out somewhere else on the surface.
okay.
The wall will be bricked. Excuse me, just a sec. I got AFK for like 2 minutes. I got food coming.
Okay. So, 3 options.
Oh,
Placate
Jesus
Dara's
Christ.
gang. That cop stopped the deal. But the thing is that they currently have eyes on us already. Like, if we make up some shit and it doesn't check out with what they've been seeing with their eyes, they know we're bullshitting.
Mm-hmm.
So if we say
As
that, like,
it is, they have seen me take the slaves, lead them into the apothecary, and they were not seen leaving.
wait,
So
why the
they could assume
apothecary?
that-
You mean the abbey?
I don't know why I keep thinking apothecary.
The abbey.
I'm trying to say abbey.
Yeah.
Well, they saw me bring the slaves into the abbey, and they will not have left the abbey. So they think that we've gone into the Underdark. So we're going according to what their plans are. Unless the Syndicate has a spy within the abbey.
And also, you're mentioning one contact. I'm pretty sure they have multiple eyes on us. Or we don't know whether there may be or not multiple eyes on us, but we assume that there are.
Yes. It's best to assume the worst. It's best to assume that they know everything that's going on.
And if we take out Darrow, then they are immediately notified that shit went south. And then we have a bigger problem dealing with Darrow's gang. Rather than... And we would exchange that instead of taking the 2 days lead. I mean, yeah, we're fucked. But, like, we're trying to, like, stabilize the level of fuckery that we have to deal with. I mean, like,
Right.
we know that it's bad. Either whatever we do is going to be bad, and it's going to be sketchy, and we're going to be in
Right.
trouble one way or another.
We have 2 choices right now. We either go along with their plans and take the innocent people with us to be handed over to goblins and orcs, and take bombs and then hand them over to the Syndicate.
All right, I'm back.
Or we go along with this this cobbled together plan and run into the arms of the Inquisitors and hope for protection.
And flash at them the writs and or, like, medals or trinkets that we have that show us, like, hey, we're not bad guys, we're trying to help. And by the way, you wanted the bombs, here they are.
Yeah. And we have information. And an insider who knows about the organization.
Yeah. That is what we're saying. No matter what we do, because people will know that we betrayed them. They either know right away
Yeah.
or they know 2 days later.
Right. There's no way of hiding the fact that I'm going against their wishes. There's no way of tricking them into thinking that I'm playing along with them. The only way for them to think that we did the right thing is to hand over the slaves and we give them the bombs.
Yeah, I
don't
know
think
what
they
you
might.
wanted to do. I understand what you wanted to do. I know that you wanted to get the cops involved. But we as an entire party are being watched. It's not just Darrow that's being watched. We all are. They know that we're with him. The Syndicate is aware that he's traveling with us. They know who we are. They know our faces. So if any of us goes anywhere near a guard or does anything that's sketchy, they will pull a plug on us. I highly doubt it unless we... Well, none of us, like, would even know what to look for. So,
I mean,
Maybe Darrow would, but
now,
like,
the only way you could have slipped away was before I had gotten this order. Because now that I've gotten this order, and if one of you were to disappear or go to the cops, they would think, because I told you, and then you went to the cops, therefore, all of us are liable.
so like as soon as he got the order, if one of us was just like even like, I'm not a part of this, fuck this, I'm leaving, that's still a loose end, and they would have tried to take care of that. I mean, we have to assume they're omnipresent, right? They've been watching us. We didn't even know they existed. Only Darrow did. Until now.
Right. And I had no idea how serious they were.
So why the rest of us do this then? Because they know that he's been traveling with us. And, like, the entire point is not to have Darrow go off by himself.
What you all can do is you can let me go do this by myself. I stay in the life, and you all move on with your lives and never. And if the organization comes to you, like, hey, what happened to Darrow? Like, we don't know. We don't fucking like him anymore.
But yeah, like the only thing that I'm afraid of is that if one of us did walk away, right, they would probably still try to close off a loose end, whether or not we got fully involved, not knowing how much we know, etc. If we turn Darrow over, though, like, they would immediately close on us. So we're either... So they would already know, right? So, like, as soon as we would turn Darrow in, they would know, shit's gone south, this is bad, close in on them. This way, we're giving ourselves a 2-day lead to get to the Inquisitors instead of the town guard.
Right. In this case, the higher up cops that you're looking at is the Inquisitor. And the only way we could have gotten word to the Inquisitor before having to go do this was if we had talked to him when he found us, which I didn't even know
about the order
I
then.
Needed to do this until after we had met him. So, yeah, I mean... So, I mean, like I said, we can... It's up to Connor, but we can leave Session off where we have found ourselves right now.
My mind.
That we're standing in the Abbey. Brother Menlo is disappointed in me. There are 4 women who are here against their will. And there's the 4 of us where I
like those
obligated to do a thing I don't want to do anymore. And I'm hoping my new friends will help get me out. But there is that option for y'all to decide otherwise, and I roll a new character. So we can talk about that in chat.
I would give Darrow the honor of a cinematic.
Okay, Scatha's motivations is Paul. He likes to kill a lot of things. If we go down this path, we're going to be killing every single person in the Syndicate.
Been there, done that.
And the orcs and the gnomes.
Yeah.
And whatever the heck else is
Not
involved.
the gnomes. The
There's
goblins.
going to
The
be
goblins, that one.
so
That's the one.
Leave the gnomes out of this. I promise. There's
Listen.
those people.
To the apothecary.
If Dara could call the Abbey the apothecary, I can call the gnomes the goblins. Okay?
Where are the rest of your gnome buddies? We have urgent business to conduct.
Yeah, that's
But seriously,
But yeah, like, I mean, if
the only motivation that I can give you guys is that we're helping stop an evil that is spreading throughout the darkness that I think we have the best chance at trying to stop.
And if by any means you feel like that's definitely not up Scappa's path, or like it's something not like he would not do or go along with, then you are totally free to walk away.
Or Scatha can try to rally the party against me and hand me in.
Or that.
Who knows? Maybe there's a reward out for turning in Syndicate members, and Scatha's after blood, guts, glory, and money.
The kingdom doesn't like bounties like that because you can never be sure who's falsely accusing their neighbor they don't like, or things like that. Although Syndicate members do have tattoos marking them as such. I've ended syndicates for less.
just one syndicate. Not gonna get that carried away with.
Skulker,
The character
aka
was a badass.
Skulker, aka Witcher, aka John Wick.
Slayer of syndicates.
Took out an entire Russian crime family.
Boondock Saints style.
That was a good movie. Man, I miss freshman year of college.
Me fucking too, dude. Take me back.
I kind of do.
Any
Back
day.
before I figured out I wouldn't survive.
That's actually like me and Connor met in freshman year of college. Actually, in orientation, and we used to like go back to his dorm and watch like Boondock Saints and shit all the time.
Mm-hmm. Dude,
You went away to college, Connor?
well,
You
went
to
away
college.
in air quotes. Like I dormed at Hofstra, so I mean,
Hey, you didn't live at your parents' house, so
yeah.
We
you
lived
left, you went away.
in towers next to each other.
Yep.
So that's how you know each other cool.
Yes.
The Mac life.
The Mac- Oh man, I miss Bruce.
Yep. Well, I apologize, Paul. I know that you don't exactly appreciate these kinds of sessions. You like to be able to get in and kill things, but like this is just kind of stuff that we need to deal with. And this is part of my backstory that I didn't intend to have to get through, but it's now come upon us. Because fuck Connor.
Sometimes you choose the backstory, and sometimes the backstory chooses you, my friend. You wrote it in. I'm just playing the pawns I was dealt.
Yeah, that's true.
See, what I heard there was sometimes you choose the right backstory, and sometimes you fuck yourself over backstory.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
I
write
did
nothing,
that.
and I have nothing to fuck you over with. Other times you give me straight up cannon fodder, and I love it.
Yeah, I made a mistake.
I'm sure everyone involved in my backstory is dead.
The second you told me, like,
I
yeah, my
made the
character's...
mistake.
It was like, you were like, yeah, my character's involved in some shady things, like, you know, been rolling with, like, criminal, or, like, however you phrase it. I remember just, like, reading it on my phone, like, raising an eyebrow and be like, is he really giving me this to, like, to just break out at any time? There's also... I won't spoil anything, but I'll fill you in on a little more about the Syndicate, Sean, in the next week. What
Cool.
Tara would know, like, completely.
Word.
Well, that's kind of the idea, but we also know that the Syndicate's bigger than us. That's why we're going to the Inquisitors, because Inquisitors also has asked us about the Syndicate and the bombs, all of which are happening right now. Henceforth, why this is the plan.
Mm-hmm.
On that note, I'm gonna dip. Thank you all for coming out. My work schedule is looking good for next week, so I will definitely see you on Monday night. It will also be. Oh wait, I'm off next Monday. Are you guys like? If I wanted to go for like a longer length session next Monday, starting on the earlier end, not the later end, would that work for you all?
How much earlier are you talking? I could
Not
once
too
swing.
much earlier, maybe like an hour.
Oh yeah, I can
So
swing
we'd
that
be
easy.
starting like 5 or 5:30 instead of the 6 or 6:30.
Yeah, I don't have to take any time off for that.
I'm down.
Sean, are you off for Memorial Day?
I am off for Memorial Day, surprisingly. I don't get a lot of work holidays, but I do have that day.
Nice.
I might need to work in the morning just because my job, everything's on fire right now. But besides that,
Excellent. Igor, are you around?
I am absolutely around.
Fuck yeah.
I stream.
Alright,
I
so-
stream from like 1900 my time, and we start at like midnight 30. So I'm around. Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. All right. So once we confirm what's good with Luke, I'll set like an official time for next Monday.
Oh boy.
All right. Sounds good.
Alrighty. We'll get a lot of shit flushed out. It's gonna be Flint's last session also. So
Oh no, but oh
who
boy.
knows? Maybe I'll have him get dragged into the Underdark. I mean, what?
Yeah.
I don't
if
know.
That or
depending
we're
on
like,
if he
go.
starts up at the beginning of session, like we're all bickering, and Scott is threatening me with an axe, like we should just hand him over.
It's just like,
walks in like, oh hey guys, I was taking a nap on that stone bench over there for the last 3 days. What's this been up?
Peace out, guys. Take care.
All right.
See ya.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you and sorry.